Hey everybody, welcome back to our latest live stream. I hope everybody's having a good afternoon so far. We're going to get right into the severe weather that we currently have ongoing across the United States. We do have ongoing tornado warning here in South Texas. We're also going to get to the ongoing severe weather over in the Carolinas. That is the main area to focus on today, as well as the northern and central plains. Before we get too far into it, make sure to hit the like button down below and subscribe if you're new here. Let's begin though with this ongoing tornado warning. This is from that tropical low that actually made landfall overnight yesterday. This was the system that we saw Invest 98L that is bringing some showers and storms, and some of them have some rotation just like this one. We've already seen at least 4 tornado warnings today. This is now in another one that we have. No confirmed tornadoes to this point with this cell or any of the other ones, but obviously we could see a tornado at any time. That overall marginal threat of severe weather still exists here in South Texas for at least the next couple of hours, where we could definitely see some rotating supercells. Let's begin with this storm though. As of right now, this storm is currently moving off to the north and northwest. Again, it is associated with the tropical low, which is now in Mexico, so we're seeing those storm activity kind of shifting off to the northwest. This cell specifically is moving about 30 miles per hour, so it is pretty quick moving. Here's looking at the velocities as of right now. It's kind of hard to see since we're pretty far away from the radar site, but the best area that we can really pick out with any rotation is likely going to be down here. So again, that's kind of where we're seeing as of right now where that rotation is. It is just north of Highway 59, east of Interstate 35 as well. Again, this is pretty far west of Corpus Christi. It is pretty much in southwestern Texas to this point, but it's going to be moving off to the northwest. We may see another tornado warning or two for where this came from over the next couple of hours. Again, in South Texas, this is where we have that tornado potential today, as well as the Carolinas. There's a low end chance out that direction, but we'll have to watch this cell pretty closely. We have 6 other severe thunderstorm warnings as well ongoing. We do have 12 flash flood warnings. Let's hop over to those real quick. The most warnings that we have right now are in North Carolina. None of these storms currently are too severe. Actually, we do have an update on this one near Bennettsville, currently producing 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds, as well as ping pong ball size tail, and there's a tornado possible label on this one. Let's take a little look at the velocities, and very broad rotation, nothing too crazy on this one, definitely weak rotation if anything, but we'll have to watch this cell pretty closely. That is also a pretty severe storm. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch ongoing until 10 o'clock tonight Eastern time. That does go for the potential for hail, damaging winds, and an isolated tornado or two. Another warning as well over into Alabama as well, producing 60-mile-per-hour winds, one in Arkansas, and we also, I believe, have one in Nye County, Nevada, if I'm not mistaken. So those are our warnings as of right now. Again, this is the tornado warn cell, currently moving off to the northwest. So we'll be watching this one pretty closely. I will be making sure we kind of look at Twitter as well and see if we have any reports coming out of this one. And yeah, let's go ahead and hop over to that real quick. Let me take a look. Let's see. Not sure if we have anything too crazy on this cell as of right now. Again, it is moving off to the northwest. And by the way, we've already had, if you're just tuning in, we had about 4 or 5 tornadoes already today, or tornado warnings today. So we haven't had any confirmed tornadoes, I don't believe, but obviously it's been a fairly active afternoon so far, to say the least. All right, let's hop over to this. And there's also now a new flash flood warning, by the way, that goes for this entire area, the area that has a tornado warning. We have actually several flash flood warnings ongoing anywhere west of Corpus Christi. Again, in South Texas, we have, I believe, 3 flash flood warnings here, maybe a 4th one. It looks like these are overlapping, but we do have another flash flood warning that just got issued for this area, and associate with, obviously, the ongoing tornado warning as well. So, obviously, a lot ongoing here. This is, again, moving off to the northwest. We're going to try to see if we get a better view on the velocities on this. Unfortunately, we have a lot of the purple stuff showing up here, so that's kind of not the best situation. But again, where the rotation seems to be right now is just barely off to the north of Highway 59. Again, it's tracking off to the northwest, so that's what we're looking at as of right now. Let's see if we can get any camera views on this in this region. Right. And again, west of Corpus Christi, along Highway 59 and east of Interstate 35 is where we have this ongoing tornado warning. We do not have any sort of cameras in this area, so we won't be able to look at anything. And I don't think there's a whole lot of storm chasers out here, if I'm not mistaken, but we'll keep you updated if there is any. As what I know, at least. All right, let's take a look at chat. How you doing, Clocks, as well? Polar, welcome back. Shane, welcome back. How you doing? Hey, Ethan, how you doing? Welcome back. Hey, Timmy, how you doing? Welcome back as well. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, hit the like button. I would appreciate it. Thank you, D. How you doing? Welcome back. Storm Chaser, welcome back. Jackson. Toyson, welcome back as well. Hope you guys are all doing well. All right, by the way, we do have 7 severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing, so we have a new one. We'll keep you updated with that one as well. Again, we have 1 tornado warning. This is the 1 warning that we do currently have ongoing. Again, moving off to the northwest as of right now. Definitely a cell to watch very closely. All right, let me go over to this. All right. Let's hop over to the new warning. Let me figure out where that is first. And we're currently in South Texas, if you're just tuning in. That is where we have had at least 5 tornado warnings today. Again, we have one severe thunderstorm warning in Arkansas, 1 in Alabama. We have 3, or really technically 2 in North Carolina, 1 in South Carolina. And we have a few flash flood warnings over in Colorado. All right, let me take a look at what warnings we got here. We have 1 in Arizona and 1 in Nevada. That's what would explain the other ones. Obviously, we have a few warnings ongoing. The other ones, again, over in the southwestern states as of right now. Again, area of rotation is currently north of Highway 59. Let's take a look. This is the latest radar update. It is currently 4:59. All right, this is the latest radar update. So, again, moving off to the north as of right now. We have flash flood warnings along with this. By the way, there's been an insane amount of rainfall with these storms over the last 24 hours. Just to look at the rainfall just in the last 24 hours. We saw a lot more yesterday near Corpus Christi. If you saw my TikTok, by the way, you would know. There was an insane amount of rain. As of now, we've seen almost 9 to 10 inches of rain in some of these locations just in the past 24 hours. Actually, over 10 inches, near 16. So we've seen a lot of rain. Where this tornado warning is, there's been nearly a foot of rain. So there has been a lot, again, of rain in this area over the last 24 hours, which again would explain the ongoing flash flood warnings. Obviously, a lot of that rain has fallen over the 24-hour span. It has not all been at once, luckily. That's at least hindering the overall total flash flooding that we've seen, but obviously there is definitely some roads that have been flooded over. I believe we've actually had a few reports here. We had one back over here near Loma Alta, which also was a report of water over the roads. So that's one of the things that we've had already in that area. And obviously there are 3 flash flood warnings ongoing here in this area. So that's kind of just something to keep in mind. Anything for Nebraska? Nebraska, I believe, is under a threat of severe weather. It's marginal. I think it's more of southern Nebraska more than anything tonight. We might actually still be live by then to cover that. So isolated damaging winds and hail will be possible. It's primarily for southern Nebraska, though. Really anywhere along the interstate and south of there. It's kind of my main concern for tonight over that direction. There's also a marginal threat again back over into the northern plains tonight. And again, we have a slight risk back over into the southeast, kind of the Carolinas region. And we also have, again, a marginal threat down here in South Texas. So that's what we got going as of right now. And somebody actually sent in a photo from West Virginia of a bunch of roads flooded over. So apparently there's been actually some flash flooding in West Virginia. Yeah, again, there's been a lot of flash flooding recently, unfortunately. It's kind of the time of the year, especially for the Southwest, obviously monsoon season, but it has been, again, very, very busy in terms of flash flooding. We haven't seen a whole lot of severe weather, which, again, is very typical for this time of year. We usually don't see a whole lot, and we've actually seen a little bit of above average, I would say, in terms of severe weather so far this month. Primarily the first week of this month, we saw a lot more. Obviously, this past week, there's hardly been any risks, other than really today. This is our first slight risk. So other than the one that was up in Montana and Idaho, but first slight risk really anywhere outside of the Northwest in about at least a week and a half, I think. So yeah, let me go over to the storm. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Storm Prediction Center. If you're just tuning in, we'll go and hop over to that. While this tornado warning is still ongoing, I don't believe it's affecting too many people, but it is going off to the northwest. We'll watch it closely. Again, we may see more isolated tornado threats over the next hour or two. It's not going to last all day in this specific location. Obviously, we might see another warning or two kind of pop up within the next couple of hours, but I do think that threat will start to go down as we go throughout the late afternoon and evening hours. But that marginal threat goes all the way back up just west of San Antonio. And that's kind of where we're at this point in terms of that low-end tornado threat. But on that, we do have a marginal threat through Mississippi. It goes all the way back up into portions of North Carolina. The slight risk obviously is ongoing. We are already seeing some significant hail, obviously some damaging winds as well. There is a tornado possible on one of those cells. Again, we'll watch that closely. Marginal threat across the Central Plains. Again, we might still be live when that starts to unfold, so we'll watch that closely as well. Another marginal threat through the Northern Plains. Again, if there's any sort of tornado warnings, we'll definitely make sure to keep you updated, and as well as any severe thunderstorm warnings. In fact, again, anything up there in the Northern Plains though today is primarily going to be damaging winds and isolated large hail. Again, very isolated threats up that direction. I think if anything, we'll probably see a bit more severe weather back up in South Dakota today. That's kind of what I'm expecting, but that's what we're looking at as of right now. Let's hop back over to here. I just realized my face cam is super high. think it's better. All right, let me go back over to the warning count. Again, we have 7 severe thunderstorm warnings as of right now. We're actually up to 8, and then we have, again, 1 tornado warning here in South Texas. That's where we're at as of right now. Again, cells moving off to the northwest. It's not overly impressive. Again, these are your typical tropical low storms that you typically see on the outskirts of the little... Actually, let me go over the satellite imagery. We'll kind of pull it up, I think. And here, this is a look at the infrared imagery, for example. Not nearly as pronounced, but you kind of see your little low is back up here into portions of Mexico. Other than that, if we go over to the satellite imagery, and you can kind of see all the clouds here, but you can kind of see the spin of these clouds. They kind of go around. You can kind of see it back up even closer to North Texas, and you can kind of see it's not nearly as pronounced as before. Again, it is a tropical low, though. It never did become a tropical depression. It never really got to the wind speeds of even being a tropical depression or storm, and it never really organized before getting onto land. It was really actually more organized on land. We do have new warnings. We're up to 11 now. Let's go hop over to a few of these real quick. We have a new warning back over into portions of Alabama, northeast of Birmingham. This is for 60-mile-per-hour winds and as well as quarter-sized hail. Again, that's moving down to the southeast. Another cell that I mentioned before over near Arley and Lynn, that's moving down to the southeast. We have a new one over in Arkansas, north of Russellville for quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. That is near Clarksville, just north of Interstate 40. That'll be moving down to the southeast at about 5 to 10 miles per hour, so another slow-moving cell. We have new warnings back over into the Carolinas, one west of Charlotte, which again, Charlotte is definitely a much more populated area. This storm has quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. It also, again, has a tornado possible label on this one as well. So we have several of those ongoing. Let me just change it over just so we don't have any confusion with tornado warning. Again, we have a tornado warning ongoing, but we're looking at some other storms. Let me fix this. But this is moving down to the southeast. This is near Sherryville, going towards Interstate 85, and again, near Kings Mountain is currently where we're at on this cell. Let's take a look at the velocities. We'll take a look and see where we're looking at any rotation. Seems like we have a little, like, small area that's trying to rotate down kind of on the southern end of the storm. That's near Lawndale. So maybe a small area there, maybe a small area up here near Lincolntown or Lincolnton as well. But overall, it seems like the rotation is very broad. Nothing that I'm going to be concerned about, at least within the short term, but watch that one pretty closely. Back over closer to the coast. This is kind of in northern portions of South Carolina. This storm has been our worst supercell by far this afternoon. This one, again, is producing 70-mile-per-hour winds, along with the potential for ping-pong ball-sized hail. This has already had a confirmation of $half sized hail back up in East Rockingham in Richmond County, North Carolina. So that's what we've seen so far in this region. And also back over in Wilmington, North Carolina, there may have been a wall cloud. Back over in, or this was from the, I'm not sure what the exact, okay, so it was near Wilmington, North Carolina. We also had a wall cloud apparently at least reported, so that's also something to keep in mind. Obviously, again, we do have a low-end tornado chance out this direction as well today, but again, this storm no longer has a tornado possible label. It didn't seem like there's a whole lot of rotation, which is good news. Another cell back up here near, as well, let's take a look. Southern Pines as well as Vass and Fort Bragg. This is producing 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. Again, that's also moving off to the east, so a lot of these storms, again, are moving kind of different directions. The main direction today, though, will be east or southeast. This one has a little bit of an exception. It's moving a bit more off to the east-northeast. So again, severe thunderstorm watch goes until 10 o'clock tonight in this region. All right, let's hop back over to the tornado warning. We'll take a look and see what we have ongoing with this cell as of right now. Let me hop back over to this. And back over near Highway 59. I don't think the cell is holding together really well with the rotation, and I'm really not seeing a whole lot. The only area where I can see rotation, even through the purple stuff there, is really here. That's the only area, but it still seems pretty weak and broad, but we'll watch it closely as it moves off to the northwest. Again, that's kind of our threat for today in this area specifically. Again, tornado threat will exist. Sounds good, Rod. Sounds good. That's a really far south tornado warning. Yeah, it's pretty far south. It's South Texas. So this is definitely, well, I mean, we've already seen a few tornado warnings. This is just one of them, but we saw at least 4 earlier, I'm pretty sure. Maybe 3 or 4. I'm not entirely sure. Somebody said we saw as many as 5 in the Discord server earlier. I can't confirm that. I only saw, when I was looking at radar, at 4 total so far. This one I think is our 4th, but we might have had more than that. I did not know. I did not get a tennis ball launcher, no. No, I'm not gonna, I don't, you know, those things are pretty expensive. All right, we're back down to 9 severe thunderstorm warnings. It just hit 4:45. So again, we'll keep you updated with the latest on all these storms. Again, this is our ongoing tornado warning in South Texas. We'll be watching it closely. Let me go back over to this, and all right. Alabama might be a area to watch too. Yeah, there might be some isolated severe weather over there as well. We'll have to again watch it pretty much a lot of locations pretty closely today, including Alabama, and really anywhere that there's a threat, obviously. But Alabama is another area to watch. There's a marginal threat that extends through that area. It's mainly going to be for damaging winds. Can't rely on a little bit of isolated large hail, but beyond that, we probably won't see anything too crazy. And here's a look at the storm as of right now. Let's take a look. Actually, as of right now, it's kind of crazy to think, but currently we have 24 million people in the potential risks areas for severe weather today. 6 million of that is actually in the slight risk, which is not overly large. It's only about 20,000 square miles, but yeah, again, that area, most concerning threat today is going to be isolated damaging winds, but we could also see some isolated large hail. Obviously, we have an ongoing storm producing ping pong ball sized hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds, so there's a lot ongoing as of right now. If there's anything severe, I'll take a look at Colorado, but as of right now, we're primarily going to be focused on the overall severe weather that we have right now. We will be watching it though pretty closely. Also, if you guys, I didn't make a forecast today, so I didn't actually go over it, but we actually had a little area. If you guys remember last week, we had a little area in the central Atlantic that was having a potential for development. This morning, it came back out with a 10% chance of development closer to Bermuda, and unfortunately, really fortunately today, it weakened. One thing to note though, south of Bermuda, that little system, there's a lot of shear in the Atlantic Ocean right now, especially in the Lesser Antilles and Greater Antilles. So we're in really a great spot right now in terms of the hurricane season. Again, we've only seen 3 named storms. It is crazy to think, you know, pretty close to the peak of hurricane season. We're only really 3 to 4 weeks away right now, and there has not been much. Again, there is some signs that we may see something potentially in the last week of August, but we've been saying this for, you know, weeks, honestly. So it's kind of unlikely at this point that we'll probably see a whole lot beyond now, but by the way, this warning does remain in effect until 4 o'clock Central Time, so they have not canceled it. Does not seem like there's plans to cancel it either. But yeah, the European model and GFS model are not showing a single thing in the Atlantic Ocean, other than one maybe small system coming off of Africa by the 24th. But again, we have a lot of time between now and then. It's pretty crazy. Hey, Gabe, how you doing? Welcome back. Hey, appreciate it, Mike. Appreciate you liking. Again, 24 likes from 100. Make sure to hit the like button. I would appreciate it, guys. All right, let's take a look. We are up to 2 tornado warnings. We have a brand new tornado warning in, again, Texas. This is another tornado warning northwest of Corpus Christi. This is west of 3 Rivers. Again, brand new tornado warning was just issued for those near 16 and 72. Moving off to the northwest, again, another tornado warning. This is at least 6th tornado warning today in Texas, and it looks to be our area of rotation is down here. It is definitely hard to see, but that is our area of rotation as of right now, moving off to the northwest. There's a better view of it. So again, area of rotation currently east of 16. That is going to be going towards the 16 and 72 junction there, and it's going to be moving off to the northwest. Again, brand new tornado warning on this cell as well. Again, west of 3 Rivers and George West. So we now have 2 tornado warnings ongoing for the time being. And brand new warning was just issued. And as of what we know, again, for those that might be just tuning in, we do not have any confirmation of any tornadoes, I don't believe at least, so far today. Obviously, we very well could see a tornado at any point, but as of right now, I don't believe there's been any confirmation yet. But this is, again, another situation where we have another tornado warning ongoing here. I'll take a look real quick. I'm pretty sure we don't have any confirmed ones yet. Yeah, we don't have any confirmation of tornadoes yet. We do have confirmations of hail. One obviously over in North Carolina. We also had one up in Rolette from earlier this morning, actually, of quarter-sized hail. So that's all we've had for reports in terms of severe weather so far today. Obviously, we're just at the beginning. Reports can also be delayed, so we very well could have already seen a tornado today. It's to be determined. We've actually had some pretty decent rotation on a few cells today, so new severe thunderstorm warning in Alabama. Thank you for the report. Thank you. There's currently 2 warnings, unless one got canceled, but I'm pretty... Okay, the other one did get canceled. My apologies. So we do have 1 warning got canceled. By the way, this is going toward Tilden as of right now. Tilden, Texas is in the track. Yeah, Tilden. And this is also west of Callahan. So just for reference, this is where Tilden is, and Callahan is right over here, so kind of a little bit spaced apart there, but right along 72 and 16 is where we're at as of right now with this tornado warning. Again, it's not an overly impressive cell, but again, this is a tropical low. We do see these spin-ups a lot with tropical lows and any sort of tropical storms or hurricanes. We see that quite often. So again, we've already seen a few of those today. Let me go back over to the velocities. We'll take a look, and it's overall pretty broad rotation. I'm not seeing a whole lot. Let me take a look at the latest scans. I'm curious to see. Actually, you can see the tornado warnings from earlier on this cell. There was a few. Oh yeah, here are the tornado warnings. We had one earlier. I'm not sure if I can go back on the velocities that far. That's where we had a little bit of something. This is where the rotation began to develop here. Kind of see it right here. That's where the rotation was developing just a few minutes ago. It's not overly strong, and again, a lot of the time we do see very brief occurrences with tornadoes and whatnot, especially with this sort of instance. Again, we could very well see a quick brief tornado with this, and even in between radar scans. But again, tropical lows typically don't produce so strong and really long track tornadoes in most cases, but we'll have to still watch it pretty closely as it moves off to the northwest. Just for those that might be tuning in, we did have another tornado warning just down to the southwest of this one. There was no locations, I don't believe. It was kind of just in the far western, basically far west of Corpus Christi. There was a tornado warning. It has expired, so that's the latest update on that warning. Stay safe, AFW. Yeah, anything up in Colorado primarily is just gonna be rain, potentially flash flooding today. Should be pretty low though overall. Let me go over here. Yeah, overall severe weather potential should be pretty low unless you're in eastern or northeastern Colorado. It's the only potential today. All right. Yes, I will be updating South Carolina. Don't worry. Yes, I'm going to be keeping updated again with all the severe weather today. Again, that does include South Carolina and North Carolina. That's our main area of potential today. And there's a slight risk over that direction. Hey, J-Dog, how you doing? Welcome back. All right, let me back over to here. Hey, Evan, do you have any other photos coming in? I don't know if you're here right now. Not sure if you have any photos or videos or anything. Oh, you just posted one. Never mind. We actually have a little photo coming out of Colorado. Our video. There's obviously been some storms over there. That's actually really impressive looking time lapse. The storms. I can show this. Okay, cool. This is a look at the Colorado storm. That is pretty impressive. I'm not sure where this is. As of right now, we don't have a city on this, but this was in Colorado from very recently. So very cool clouds. That was sent in by Air Marietta on Twitter. Thank you. All right. Let's go back over to the velocities. We'll take a look at the latest update here. And again, actually, this has not updated yet. So we're not on an update yet. We'll take a look once it updates, which is going to be coming in here pretty shortly. Yeah, overall, the rotation seems to be minimizing itself on this storm right now. So that's what we're looking at as of right now. Hey, stay safe, Rod. Stay safe. Yeah, again, we'll keep you updated with the latest on those storms. Those are going to probably, that's again where our highest risk at this point of severe weather is today. Oh, that was in Highland Ranch, Colorado. Highlands Ranch, Colorado is where that video was taken, just for reference. Highlands Ranch. I'm not sure where that is in Colorado, but that's where it was taken. Charlotte's, North Carolina is kind of in the heart of severe weather today, honestly. You probably will get something. But again, I think there's some storms pretty close to you. You actually might have already seen a storm today, if I'm not mistaken. All right, here's the latest radar view. Again, the rotation's definitely minimizing itself right now. So it looks like the overall rotation's definitely starting to weaken on this storm. Again, this other tornado warning has expired just for reference. So rotation seems to be minimizing a little bit. We'll go back to the storm in a minute. Let's go back over to the other storms real quick in the Carolinas. Again, we do have a pretty decent cell right now ongoing back over this direction. We actually have one near Charlotte, as I mentioned before, one just to the west of Charlotte, North Carolina. This storm currently is producing 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. So we'll take a look at this cell as it moves off to the east. Here's a look at the radar view. And this is a look at it. So the storm overall doesn't seem to be nearly as organized as before. Again, it did have a little bit of rotation. It is tornado possible right now, which means there might be a little bit of broad rotation in there. But overall, I'm not seeing anything overly organized. The only area of very broad rotation is up here north of Dallas. So that's kind of where we're looking. Again, north of Interstate 85 is where we have a little bit of rotation. It's nothing too crazy, but it will be something to watch as that moves down to the east-southeast. Beyond that, our worst cell, as I kind of mentioned before, is this one over here near Bennettsville. And this storm has been really packing a punch. Again, ping-pong ball-sized hail, 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds. Pretty extreme cell right now, moving down to the southeast, going toward Cleo, say the name right, as well as Bennettsville. McColl's probably getting hit with it right now with those damaging winds and maybe some hail as well. It does seem like the hail threat may be going down in this cell, though. Let's take a look at the hail radar. We will take a look at that, see what we got going here. And this look at the hail radar. So it kind of peaked back up to the west of McColl, around ping pong ball sized hail, and south of Gibson. So that's where the hail was at least at its peak. And again, this warning specifically is in in South Carolina, a little portion of it in North Carolina, but it's kind of on the North Carolina and South Carolina border. But yeah, the highest hailstones that we've seen so far, again, were south of Gibson. That's again moving down to the southeast. So definitely a decent cell there. Again, off to the north right now, or west, I should say, of Interstate 95 over near Fort Bragg. This storm is moving off to the northeast. This is producing damaging winds up to 60 and quarter-sized hail. So another cell to watch pretty closely. By the way, we are up to 11 severe thunderstorm warnings. I believe a couple of them will expire, so we're going to keep the count at 9. That's what we got going as of right now. This warning, by the way, specifically for Bensville, McColl, Raymond, as well as Dunbar, Minturn, as well as Gibson and Tatum, does not expire until 5:30 Eastern time. So that's the latest update on this warning as of right now. Back out to the west, we actually do have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. Let's hop over to that. And a very active afternoon is ahead. This is our most active afternoon that we're probably going to have for a long time, probably. This will look at the overall warning, though. 60-mile-per-hour winds, quarter-sized hail. This one also has a tornado possible. And there is a little bit of rotation here. We'll have to watch this one pretty closely. You can kind of see the little bit of an inflow kind of going into the storm here. So we'll have to watch this one pretty closely as well. Northwest of Spindale. Again, if any of these storms can rotate with that low-level rotation that we have today, we very well could again see maybe a brief tornado somewhere in this region this afternoon or evening. We'll have to watch that closely. Again, Rutherfordton as well as Forest City, Ellenboro, all in the track of it. Green Hill and Thermal City also included in this ongoing severe thunderstorm warning. We are at 5 o'clock. We actually do have 11 severe thunderstorm warnings, so we're going to go hop over to that number, put it at 11. We do again have one tornado warning in South Texas that is currently ongoing. We'll be going back over to that in just a moment. But that's what we're looking at as of right now, and I don't think that warning's been canceled yet. I'll take a look real quick. Top over this one real quick. And as of right now, tornado warning is still ongoing. Again, Tilden is the main area in Texas included. That's again South Texas. Yeah, it's not been canceled. We'll hop over to that here in a second. We do have 2 warnings again in Arkansas. So, again, we have a lot of warnings ongoing. Check Twitter. I'll check in a second. Moment, please. Here's a look at the tornado warning cell again in Texas as of right now. So, again, we'll be kind of hopping between both of them. This warning I don't think will last too much longer. Again, the rotation has overall been pretty minimal, but we'll have to watch it again pretty closely. Again, moving off to the northwest. Again, it's a tropical low. For those that might be confused, this does not look like an ordinary supercell to probably most of you. Again, it's a tropical low. A lot of these cells are on the outskirts of the storm, and the tornado warning has been at least canceled. But that's kind of what we're looking at. Again, brief tornadoes may occur with this area over the next few hours. Again, that threat does go until probably about 6 or 7 o'clock, I would say, tonight. And then that tornado threat should really dwindle. We do have tree damage coming in from Birmingham, just northeast of Birmingham, up near Asheville. A few trees were blown down in Asheville, so that's our latest report over that direction. Again, this cell specifically is producing 60-mile-per-hour winds and a little bit of dime-sized hail. So that's our latest report as of right now. Thank you, Evan. Let me take a look at Twitter. When you're close to 2 severe thunderstorm warnings, and man, you're kind of in between both of them right now. It's crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of, again, it's a crazy amount of, I mean, we haven't seen a whole lot of severe weather recently, so just to see how many warnings that we have right now is kind of crazy. Again, for those that have not been, watching my forecast, at least in the last week or two, there's probably a good reason if you're a really big severe weather addict. There's been nothing. It's been very, very plain at this point in terms of severe weather, which again is very good news overall. I'm going to take it, honestly. I'm enjoying the more dry conditions and whatnot, a little bit of a cool down as well. By the way, next week, big cool down coming to the central and southern plains. More details on that on our latest forecast, but big cool down. North Texas has a chance for rain this upcoming week, Shelia, as well as the following week. Check out my latest 7-day forecast on the Facebook page, linked down in the description below. It has all the details on that. I'll keep you updated, Presley. Stay safe. Hey, again, if you're just tuning in, hit the like button down below. Helps our page out a lot. I would appreciate it. Littleton, Colorado. We have a pretty decent cell moving through that area. I'm going to go ahead and retweet that on Twitter if you want to take a look. Pretty crazy cell over there as well. Again, Colorado is another area that we'll have to watch today for severe weather. It is a pretty impressive looking cell as well. All right. No tornado warning as of right now. There is a tornado possible, not in this cell specifically. Let's go back over here to the north. Again, tornado possible is not the same as a tornado warning. Tornado possible just means we have some broad rotation on a cell. Like this one, for example, there's been a little bit of rotation, but overall it does not mean there's a tornado warning, does not mean you have to seek shelter. It is recommended that you seek shelter, but obviously it's not needed at this point. Obviously, this is a storm to watch though. There's a little bit of rotation. It's definitely broad right now. This is the area where there would be any rotation on this cell, west of Spindale. Again, moving down to the east, southeast, going toward Bostic as well as Forest City and Ellenboro. So this might rotate later on, so we'll have to watch this one pretty closely. And any of these cells, again, any of the ones that are currently in North Carolina or South Carolina have that chance for maybe an isolated tornado or two this afternoon. Again, chance is still overall low, but we'll have to watch it just in case there's any sort of developments. ASMR max velocity coverage. Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to happen. Unless it's actually mandatory if I'm like, you know, in my dorm or whatever. My roommates get mad. All right, let's hop over to this real quick. Again, we have 11 severe thunderstorm warnings. We have 15 flash flood warnings. A lot of those are, again, in the Southwest and as well as Texas, specifically South Texas. Again, if you're just tuning in, we do have a damage report coming out of areas northeast of Birmingham. That's near Asheville. There was trees reported down in that area, so. There's apparently some broad rotation in Florida. I'll take a look at that. I have somebody that reports from Florida, so well, let's take a look. Might be a little bit of broad rotation. And apparently there's a little bit of rotation. It looks like this is kind of west. It's kind of north of Dustin, Florida. It's currently near the interstate. A little bit of rotation, nothing crazy, but something to watch. So yeah, I mean, Florida's not really an area that's under a severe weather potential, but you never can rule out an isolated tornado in that area, especially during the summer. There are a lot of storms there. Destin? Did they call it Destin? Wait, did I say Dustin? I meant to say Destin. My bad. Hey, Gene, how you doing? Welcome back. We're back to over here. We're looking good. All right, let's hop back over to this storm. I'm going to take a look at the velocities on this one. This cell, again, is warned for 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds. That is currently off to the northeast of Bennettsville. This isn't going into McCall as of right now. The hail core is currently north of Tatum and going into McCall as of right now. That hail core, again, could be producing hail as high as $half size. We've had a report not too long ago of $half sized hail with this storm. Let's take a look at the hail radar again. We'll take a look and see if there's any updates on this. And the latest scans showing between quarter to maybe up to $half sized hail. 1.1 to 1.2 inches is really the peak right now in the latest scans. That is just off to the west of McCall. That was, again, a couple minutes ago. Now where the hail core is right in here. That's, again, near McCall. Moving off to the east. Again, a little bit of $half sized hail may occur with this storm. Bennettsville, McCall, Clio, Raymond, as well as Dunbar, Minturn, Gibson, and Tatum are all included in that warning. Let me hop over to the velocities. Let's take a look and see. And there is possibly some high winds with this. We'll go over to this radar. There we go. And this is a look at the velocities. And it's showing up to 60. That's kind of on the back end, so it may not be entirely accurate, but it could be as high as 60. I don't know if it's up to 70. Again, the warning is for 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds, but I don't think it's that high right now. But we'll have to watch it closely as that moves down to the southeast. Thank you, Evelyn, as well as Carl, by the way, for subscribing. I appreciate it. We're currently in North and South Carolina. Hey, Turtle, how you doing? Welcome back. Thanks, Johnny. I'm currently in college for it, but thank you. Yeah, it's just kind of a hobby for me. So, again, this is a hobby. But, yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm in college, so that's what's going on as of right now. We're getting a lot of videos out of Colorado right now. A lot of storms, apparently, over in that direction. Evan, yeah, feel free. If you want to get some footage of the Florida storm, go for it. Yeah, they're talking about the ones over near Destin or Crestview, that area. Those storms look pretty good. Yeah, the ones in Colorado, there's some decent cells. Actually, south of Denver, we got some serious cells there, possibly with a little bit of hail as well. So we'll have to watch that area closely as well. That's not in the threat for severe weather today, but definitely not out of the question that we could see some severe weather. I will be putting the videos up once we get them. We have a couple on Twitter. You can check out my Twitter in the description. But it sounds like Evan's going to get some videos out of Florida on the storms that are developing there. We have new damage coming in from Wallace. This is a tree down in the roadway on SE 38, and that's, I believe, means South Carolina 38. That must be a road of some sort. So that's up in Wallace, Marlboro County, South Carolina is where that was reported. So obviously damage due to come out with this 70-mile-per-hour winds, $half size hail, just a mix for damage at this point, whether that is car damage from hail or damage to trees. It's kind of, you know, one or the other that we're probably going to see with the storm anyways. As this again moves down to the southeast. This cell has been our most severe at this point. We've already had 2 tornado warnings in this live stream at the beginning, so just kind of keep that in mind. Again, that was back down over in Texas. We'll have to watch that area as well pretty closely. And again, this area has a chance for an isolated tornado or 2 as well tonight, so we'll have to watch that pretty closely. Yes, Shannon, there's been 2. There's actually been total today, I think, 6 tornado warnings. So we've had a lot of tornado warnings so far today. Hey, Tammy, there might be some upper 80s next week for portions of Texas. There's gonna be a bit of a cool down next week. Sounds good, Evan. Stokes, I recommend radar scope or my radar. Hail damage to the roof. I'm sorry to hear that, J-Dog. Yeah, unfortunately, you know, if you don't have a garage, it kind of is a little bit of a pain, especially when hail comes around. Even though hail, for the most part, it's not rare. It depends on where you are, but yeah, I mean, I feel you. I've had a little bit of hail damage before. Luckily, it wasn't to the point where I had to, you know, replace something, but it happens. We have another wind damage report coming out of somewhere. Let me take a look. We have another one coming out of the North Carolina region. Back up here near Shelby, north of Shelby. This was from the cell that was producing at least 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds. 2 trees down across the roadway in 800 block of Warlick Road near Lawndale. So that's in Bellwood, North Carolina. That's Cleveland County. That's where we have our latest damage report coming in. So just for reference, again, a new report of that. Again, we're going to probably see a lot of tree damage from these storms, unfortunately. And again, we're really not at the peak yet of severe weather. We're probably going to see more warnings over the next couple of hours. Again, the severe thunderstorm watch that includes South Carolina and North Carolina goes until 10 o'clock tonight, Eastern time. So we have another 5 hours that we could see some severe weather during. We could even see a little bit of isolated severe weather after the fact. But I do think most of the severe weather will happen between now to probably about, I would say, 8 or 9 o'clock. I don't think we'll see too much after then. Sunset, daylight heating kind of expires. That's when we'll probably see some stuff wind down. That kind of translate us over to the central and southern plains, though, or excuse me, central and northern plains. I can't talk. Those areas have a marginal threat this afternoon and evening. We'll have to watch those areas as well pretty closely. So if there's any severe weather again in those areas as well, we'll have to watch that. It mainly includes Nebraska and Kansas and South and North Dakota tonight. So yeah, there's a lot to watch tonight. A lot to watch. It's probably our most active severe weather that we've had in about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. Hey, Gene, I feel you. I'm ready for it, too. I am ready for a Texas cool down. There might be some upper 80s, as I mentioned before. I don't know if my thing's pulled up on here. I don't think it is. Yeah, I don't have it pulled up. But if you go over to our Facebook page, and if you're from Texas, you can get our latest North Texas forecast for the DFW Metroplex. Next week, low 90s, and as well as upper 80s. I'll pull it up real quick, just for people that are wondering. This will look at it. Very nice forecast. You gotta pause real quick, but again, you can go over our Facebook page if you want to take a look. Our Facebook is only North Texas weather. All right, let me take a look at how many warnings we currently have ongoing as of right now. Again, we have 10 severe thunderstorm warnings. We have as well as 15 flash flood warnings. So still a lot to watch. This is again our main cell producing up to 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds, along with a little bit of $half-sized hail. And the wind core seems to be back up here near McCole. Again, this area, let me go over to the better estimate radar here. This will look at it. The winds are currently estimated up to 70 in our latest scans. Again, that may be a little bit of an error or something like that within the radar, but it's at least 60, I would say. It might be as high as 70, though. Again, the warning is currently for 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds. So I'll have to, again, watch this cell pretty closely. We do have tree damage, again, with this cell. We'll probably get more reports of that here pretty soon as well. So we'll have to watch these cells, again, pretty closely as they all move, again, to the east or southeast. Again, Cleo will be in the next in track. I'm going to take a look and see if we have any cameras in this area. See if we can get any view on this storm. Yeah, we haven't had a whole lot of success recently with finding any locations in terms of cameras and whatnot, but we'll take a look. Texas doesn't have that many in South Texas, unfortunately, but looks like we actually do have one that we may be able to get a view on. We have one over in Hammer. I think it's near Dillon. Yeah, Dillon. But that one, unfortunately, is not in the best spot. By the way, this hail core just blew up in the latest scan. We possibly are back up to ping pong ball sized hail here near McCole. That is definitely a big increase from what we just saw a second ago in terms of the reflectivity value. So we're probably looking at potentially some larger hail, if not definitely some heavier rain coming out of this. Again, it's up to $half size. We've had reports of that from earlier. This very well could be back up to ping pong ball sized hail, though. That's our latest update on this warning. Let's look at the live radar. I'll take a look in a minute and see what the hail shows. Hey, Virginia, how you doing? Back. Why there are 2 flash flood warnings in one town in Texas? It may be because one is expiring soon. They may have just issued a new one. The tornado warning? I don't think there is any. No, we don't have any tornado warnings. We have 12 severe thunderstorm warnings. We've had at least 6 tornado warnings today in just South Texas. In just South Texas. And that's again from the tropical low, which makes a lot of sense. Again, we see a lot of brief spin-ups with those sort of things. So that's what we saw down in South Texas today. Definitely kind of crazy to think. I'm doing good, Virginia. Thanks for asking. I'm doing pretty good. And this has been our probably more active day that we had recently. We haven't had hardly any severe weather in the last couple of months. It's been pretty inactive. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning back up in Charlotte. Kind of in western Charlotte. This is for 60-mile-per-hour winds, quarter-sized hail. This also has a tornado possible label. Let me take a look and see. There might be a little bit of rotation on this. I think it's pretty broad. And yeah, we're not seeing anything tight or anything that I would be concerned about now. But again, we could see something in the near future as this moves towards Charlotte, North Carolina. So again, brand new severe thunderstorm warning, quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. Again, it's moving off to the east. And I'll have to watch that one pretty closely. Again, going towards Charlotte, North Carolina. We'll be watching that one very closely for you. Again, this is the look of the severe thunderstorm watch. If you're just tuning in, again, we could see severe weather outside of this, but it does include southern North Carolina and northern South Carolina. So that's where we're at this point. Again, Carolinas are the main areas in threat today, but we could also see some severe weather in Texas, as well as Nebraska, and as well as over down into, or up into, I mean, the northern plains. We have a picture coming out of Destin, Florida, by the way. This is from one of the cells sent in by Evan. So that's what we're looking at as of right now. That's moving off to the south. I'll actually hop over to that cell here in just a second. Thank you for Jay for becoming a VIP chaser. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Jay. Let's get some claps in the chat for Jay. If you're a member, put some tennis balls in the chat. That is a huge commitment. And that's our highest tier. I really appreciate that, Jay. Thank you for becoming a VIP chaser. Really do appreciate it. I'm glad you're enjoying the streams as well. Thank you very much. This is a look at the cell again down in Destin. This is where that photo came out of. It's over here. It was a little bit more pronounced earlier, but this is the one north of Fort Walton Beach and near Niceville. Must have some nice people, but that is where we have that latest storm that has developed. Again, nothing really too crazy in terms of severe weather expected down that direction. Again, we could typically, in some instances, we see a brief tornado with some of those cells that develop in Florida during the summer. So definitely not out of the question, but definitely an impressive cell there. We're currently in the Carolinas, but we're probably going to be going over into Texas and the central and northern plains later as well. This warning's been upgraded, by the way. We are now back up to ping pong ball sized hail with the hail core that is ongoing here near McCole. So it's the latest update on this warning moving down to the southeast. A VIP jump scare. Yeah, the music is kind of loud. I have to fix that. I kind of realized that in my latest stream. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate it. Jay becoming a VIP chaser. You're a 7th VIP chaser, by the way. Appreciate it. All right. Sounds good, Snow Chaser. All right, let me take a look at Twitter since Evan is gone. We're going to see if we have any sort of photos or anything like that coming in. Evan is currently out chasing. Chasing. It's kind of on one of the cells over in Florida. Let me go over to... All right, let's take a look. Again, this warning goes until 5:30. It just got increased again to ping pong ball-sized hail. Moving down to the southeast. And for some reason, the warning got posted like 15 times on Twitter. I think that might have been an error, but we have ongoing again with this cell. Apparently Evan is water spout chasing, by the way. So if we get any water spout photos, again, we'll keep you updated. There's been no tennis ball sized hail. No, we've had none of that yet. Again, hail threat is kind of low today. It's more of damaging winds and isolated tornadoes. That's kind of where we're at this point for today. Let's go back up to Charlotte real quick. We'll take a look and see if we have any new updates on this cell. Latest update just came in. There is a little hook that kind of looks like it right here, but overall it doesn't seem overly impressive. I see a little wind core back up near Stanley, but I'm not seeing any crazy rotation as of now with this cell. Again, we'll watch it closely. It's moving off to the east. I'll actually put a timing little thing on this as well, just for those that might be in Charlotte. I know a few of you guys are watching from Charlotte as of right now. Again, this is an area to watch tonight anyways, or really this evening, I should say. Let's look at the track. If you're in that area, I'm going to put it at about 22 miles per hour. I do think it's going a little bit faster than 18. Here's a look at the timing. So Stanley, 519. You're already getting hit, actually. A little bit of rain over you now. Gastonia, right around 520. Lowell is going to be right around 529. Mount Holly, 536. Belmont, right around 540. Cornelius, right around 552. Davidson, 553. Huntersville, 555. Charlotte, 606. Concord, 635, and Mint Hill right around 636. Again, that's estimated timing. We very well could see this go a little bit faster than that, but that will give you a general gist of where and when it could hit your location. And again, if you need to see that again, make sure to just pause or go back a few seconds on the stream and you can take a screenshot if you're in those areas. I know a few of you guys are watching from Charlotte, so keep you updated again. I know many of you actually are. All right, sounds good. Or wait, are you watching me right now, Evan? Texting and driving. All right, let's go to this. We have a new flash flood warning over in Douglas County in Colorado. That affects almost 170,000 people. So there's a new flash flood warning in Colorado. Again, flash flood warning, flash flooding is going to be an issue over in Colorado most likely today. There's a lot of rain ongoing there. We actually have a photo coming in from, I'm going to go and retweet this on our Twitter. Really cool photo over in Florida. Tweet that. All right, sounds good. You're watching me and playing Fall Guys. Nice. 36 mile per hour winds. That's definitely some gusty winds. Actually, let me take a look at the METAR data. Go over to the wind gusts. We'll take a look and see if we have any airports nearby. We do have a few. The storm back up here was severe thunderstorm warned. The winds have peaked around, it looks like 30 to 35, so that warning has obviously been let to expire. The storm back up here near Charlotte, again, this one has the tornado possible label, which again does not mean you have to seek shelter, but it's a cell to watch in case that there's some rotation. There was a 26 mile per hour wind gust back up at an airport east of Lincolnton. So there was that little wind gust reported, or at least confirmed at this point as well, over that direction. So that is what we've seen so far in terms of wind gust reports over in this area. And the storm back out here to the west is also a tornado possible. Let's take a look at the velocities on this. And I'm seeing mostly wind at this point, which is good news, but we'll have to wait and see. Let me take a look at this. Looks like mostly wind. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything too crazy. Let's go back over to the reflectivity. So nothing is starting to watch as well. It's more outflow driven, so I think the chances of this developing a tornado potential seems to be low, at least with this specific cell, but it'll also be something to watch pretty closely. Again, Forest City, Spindale, Ellenboro, Mooresboro, Bostic, Kingstown, excuse me, as well as Green Hill and Thermal City and Cliffside, all included in this warning. And they'll be moving down to the southeast. It is a pretty impressive looking cell, though. And again, several of these are looking pretty impressive. Let's hop back over to Alabama real quick. We'll take a look at this warning. This one, again, has nickel-sized hail and 60 mile per hour winds. That could be up to quarter size now. That's moving down to the southeast. We have a brand new report. 2 structure fires have begun from lightning strikes in Double Springs. So unfortunately, we're getting a report over in Houston recreational area. That's in Double Springs. 2 structure fires, excuse me, have begun from lightning strikes in Double Springs. So I'll take a look and see if we have any more information on that. But apparently that is our latest report coming out of Double Springs. And I'm not seeing any reports of it on Twitter yet, but we'll keep you updated if there's any photos or anything. Unfortunately, though, fires have apparently begun from lightning in Double Springs. That is our latest report again in Alabama. Let's hop back over to Arkansas real quick. There's also a warning southwest of Little Rock for quarter-sized hail, 60 mile per hour winds. Very rural area, but Hot Springs, actually Hot Springs not rural at all. A bit of a tourist attraction there at Hot Springs, as well as the Hot Springs National Park. Red Oak, Oaklawn, Racetrack is included. Again, 60 mile per hour winds, quarter-sized hail. Make sure you're staying safe if you're over there doing any sort of vacationing or trips there. Back over into southeastern Arizona, there's also a warning there, but that is obviously pretty minimal as of right now. Just some 60 mile per hour winds, pretty typical for this time of the year in Arizona. New warning was issued back up into Virginia near Interstate 81. This will affect, again, any truck drivers driving along the interstate, especially those for in Dublin, Max Meadows, Patterson, as well as Indian Valley, all included for 60 mile per hour winds and quarter-sized hail. That is moving off to the east. So again, a brand new warning up here in Virginia. let's head back down to where the most of the action is, though, back into the Carolinas. And we should be getting a new warning on this here pretty shortly. We'll see if it gets downgraded at all. I think it will, but we'll see. We're only 20 likes, by the way, from 200. I would appreciate if you hit the like button. All right, I'll do that. Can't figure out which one I just retweeted. All right, posted it. I think it's fine, but I have no clue. I don't know how you do it. Some clouds rolling in there to Florida. Let's take a look. Again, two fires were reported in double springs from lightning strikes. This is a look at a photo coming out of Florida. And very nice. By the way, this is a beautiful photo, but obviously storm clouds rolling in. You got all the rain falling as well behind it. This is almost like a picture perfect photo, basically. This is again in Florida. I'm not entirely sure of the location, but that was sent in by Susan. Appreciate that. There's a photo that we had sent in. All right. By the way, if you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 16,000 subscribers. I would appreciate if you hit the subscribe button if you're new. That fire was in Alabama. In Double Springs, Alabama is where we had that report of 2 structures on fire from lightning strikes. Unfortunately, that's actually a severe thunderstorm warning cell for damaging winds, but that is our latest report over that direction. I'll take a look and see. The Alabama storms actually have a pretty decent amount of lightning too. I mean, it's not an insane amount. It's currently 27 strikes per minute, which is actually almost on the lower end of how much lightning we typically see with, supercell storms. But that's spread across 3 cells. If we go to the one that produced the fires, about 10 strikes per minute, which is fairly frequent actually for a cell, especially to that magnitude of only 60-mile-per-hour winds. The cell overall didn't seem to be too severe as of right now, but unfortunately, lightning is becoming a concern with that cell. But overall, in Alabama, all told, it's about 25 to 30 strikes per minute. Back over in the Carolinas, it's actually not nearly as impressive as Alabama. There's about 20 strikes per minute. So lightning overall has not been too insane here. Sounds good, Evan. Hey, Evan, how you doing? Welcome back. Hey, Brad, how you doing? Welcome back. Appreciate you tuning in. South Kansas manual today will not see anything, at least in terms of severe weather. There may be some, though, potentially, I don't think tomorrow, but there might be a couple of isolated storms tomorrow. Nothing really severe, though. We do have new damage reports coming in, by the way. Actually, several damage reports coming in. Again, we had 2 trees down. This is from a little bit earlier. This is just one of the other reports that we had over in Bellwood. 2 trees down across a roadway in 800 block in Warlick Road near Lawndale. Also back out to the east of Bellwood, we also had trees down blocking Highway 27 near intersection with Indian Creek Primitive Church Road. That's our latest report there in Vale. And near Lincolntown, I keep saying Lincolntown, Lincolnton, we have a new report coming in of trees down in the vicinity of the Memorial School, or Love Memorial School on Highway 150 near Kraus. So that's another damage report that we have coming in. We also have a wind gust report. Oh, no, never mind. We actually have a damage report back up in Glen Alpine of 2 trees down near intersection of Hayes Water Road as well as Conley Road. That's up near Interstate 40 in North Carolina. So a lot of reports again coming in, and again, that's going to be a big theme tonight. We're going to have a lot of potentially damage to trees and whatnot tonight. That's kind of the biggest concern. Obviously, a tornado potential still does exist. It's low, but it's definitely not out of the question that we might see a brief tornado instance potentially tonight. But as of right now, damaging winds definitely the biggest concern. And again, Charlotte is going to be right in the track of the cell. It may just kind of sliver a little bit off to the north here, but we'll have to wait and see. Storm seems to be going a little bit more out to the east-northeast, but we'll watch it pretty closely. As of right now, by the way, we do have 8 severe thunderstorm warnings. I do apologize. The number at the bottom right keeps getting uncentered, but yeah, if you ever see a dangerous severe thunderstorm warning, it's from I don't know what app it is, but it's not a real National Weather Service warning. It's their own kind of warning, so it's not an official weather warning to say gotta say that. There was some marble-sized hail in Asheville, by the way. I'm going to retweet that on our Twitter, but there was a decent amount of hail over there. It actually almost looks like it snowed in Asheville. I believe that's in Alabama, so there was actually a pretty decent amount of hail there. It literally looks like a coating of snow almost. So again, cumulative hail is not out of the question with some of these even just regular strong storms. I mean, severe weather does not always have to create that potential for cumulative hail. We see that quite often. Cumulative hail is it's not rare. It doesn't happen nearly as often as you think, though. I mean, it happens more. I mean, we saw an insane amount of cumulative hail back up in Montana a couple weeks ago. We were live for that. It was pretty crazy. Also, a storm. Again, storms are building in Denver as of right now. I'm going to retweet something else. Again, I'm retweeting a lot of stuff on our Twitter. Again, link in the description, but a lot of storms developing over in Denver. Again, we could very well see potentially isolated severe weather over that direction as well. Oh, it's WeatherBug. Yeah, I've never used WeatherBug, but yeah, I don't. Those warnings again are not official, so they say dangerous severe thunderstorm warning. Again, you can use it if you want. It's just not an official warning. I only ever go by severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings, any warnings that the National Weather Service issues or the National Hurricane Center or Storm Prediction Center, those sort of things I'll go by. I mean, any person can make up their own warning. I could make up a max velocity warning if I really wanted to, but I'm obviously not going to do that. All right, let me go over to, we have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. This storm does not have a new warning yet. We'll probably get one here pretty shortly. We do have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning in Colorado. This one might be actually kind of significant. We'll hop over to it. Just go and take a quick look at it. This is the one that's been producing a pretty crazy amount of rain. Flash flood warning in effect south of Denver. This storm is producing damaging winds up to 60 and quarter-sized hail. It is moving kind of to the north and east. It's mostly, I believe, it's not really outflow. I think it might be outflow driven here, but very stationary showers and storms here. It's not moving overly fast, so flash flooding becoming a concern, especially with the mountainous regions here. So again, near Interstate 25, severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds, quarter-sized hail. Moving off to the north and east, as are again a brand new warning in Colorado, which again, this area, low end chance for severe weather tonight. We also have again 20 flash flood warnings ongoing as of right now. So one of them is in south portions of Denver, basically south of Denver, kind of on the outskirts, almost into the rural areas, in the suburbs of Denver right now, and just south of there. Also have another cell back down near Elizabeth. This might get warned. This is also, yeah, this is outflow driven. So this also may produce some quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. We'll see if that gets warned, but that's our brand new warning over here into Colorado. All right, let's hop back over to the Carolinas. We'll go back over to Charlotte for right now until that new warning gets issued back over into portions of South Carolina. We probably will get one here pretty shortly over there. This cell is about to actually enter into Charlotte probably within the next 20 minutes or so. So if you're in Charlotte, again, stay away from windows. 60-mile-per-hour winds can knock over trees. And there's also a little tornado possible on this, so I'll have to watch that again pretty closely as it moves off that direction. But as of right now, rotation's been pretty broad, so does not seem like we have an imminent tornado, but we could very well see maybe a isolated spin-up embedded with this storm at any point. Yeah, a lot of the storms, I'm getting another photo from Alabama. There's been a lot of storms in Alabama. Again, mostly strong right now, but those storms are definitely packing a punch in terms of strong and severe weather. Again, we've already had a report in Alabama of 2 buildings on fire from lightning. So, pretty unfortunate what we're seeing there in terms of that. But if you go back over, this is the storm. This is the storm activity as of right now. Again, a lot of storms. But the one currently down to the south at Double Springs, this is the one responsible for putting 2 structures on fire from lightning. And again, it is packing a punch in terms of damaging winds up to 60, but obviously a lot of lightning, frequent lightning is going to be possible with any of these cells tonight. And that goes all the way from Birmingham back up through Fort Payne. Again, a lot of these storms could become severe. We do have a marginal threat down this direction tonight. It is, again, a pretty large area, actually. It goes through Atlanta, Georgia, all the way through Columbus into Mississippi. So, again, there's definitely a possibility that we do see some severe weather tonight in those areas. Again, threat is still fairly low, but it's definitely not out of the question. We have a lot of damage reports coming in. I'm not sure if these are new or potentially... Okay, yeah, these are all new. So we have a lot of damage reports that have just come in. 3 new ones in southern portions of North Carolina. A tree down along Highway 182 in Polkville. There's also trees, so probably multiple trees down along Charlie Elliott Road. That's in Cleveland County, North Carolina. We also have another one, I believe it's over here, near Boger City. This is for power lines in roadway near Highway 150 at Curve View Road. Time estimated by radar, so right around 5 o'clock or so. So we have some power lines that have been reported down near Lincolnton, again, in Boger City. So, again, brand new damage report coming in from that location. Unfortunately, we're probably going to see more of that over the next few hours as these severe storms continue to track off to the east. Thank you, by the way, Kale, for subscribing. I appreciate it. We're only 20 likes away, by the way, from 250. And if you haven't already, hit the like button. I would appreciate it. Helps our page out a lot. Gets this information back out to more people that are in these areas, as well as we're only 3 subscribers from 15,800. Would appreciate the subscribe button. Also helps our page out a lot. Do live streams like this all the time. All right, let me hop back over to the warnings. We currently, again, actually, we're down to 7 severe thunderstorm warnings. Again, most of those they're kind of actually all over the place right now. We don't have anything really overly organized other than the Carolina storms. There is, again, a couple. There's one at least in Arkansas. There's one over in Colorado. We probably have a couple down in the Southwest, like Arizona and Nevada. And we also have one down over into Arkansas. I don't know if I mentioned Arkansas, but that's also another area that we have severe weather ongoing. This is the other cell by Forest City, by the way. This is producing 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. Back down southeast of Denver. Again, we'll keep you updated with that storm. Just taking a look at the warnings. Yeah, we have one in Arizona. It's southeast Arizona as of right now. We do have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning that's been issued. This does include Boiling Springs, Columbus, kind of on the edge of that. It's mainly gotten past you now, as well as Chesney, Cowpens, near Gaffney as well, Interstate 85 and Interstate 26, a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. Again, damaging winds potentially up to 60 and quarter-sized hail possible with this storm moving down to the southeast. Again, brand new warning. Let me take a look and see. Do we have road data in South Carolina? I don't know if I have it on. I don't think it is. I'm gonna have to add that real quick. Oh, by the way, if you're a frequent viewer here, we have interstates back on the map. So they were not on the map recently. You might have not noticed because I never mentioned it, but they are back better than ever. All right, let me add the South Carolina roadways here. An idea of what we're looking at here. I don't even think North Carolina. I don't think I have any in North Carolina either. I don't have any in North Carolina. I'll add both of them while we're at it. We have actually, this is probably the first stream we've done specifically for the Carolinas. And yeah, I mean, again, we're pretty much doing every state that has severe weather, but haven't really done a whole lot in Carolina before. There we go. We have a lot more roads now to kind of look at here. Better location here. We also have hail reports over McCole. There's a lot of hail apparently. Again, there was as well as some flooding actually in McCole. That was again the storm that had ping pong ball sized hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds. Just an update for you. That was again over in South Carolina. It was in Marlborough County. I can't say that for some reason. But that was a storm that we did see some pretty significant hail, it seems like, and as well as some flooding. And the flooding seems to be more of a ponding issue. It does not seem to be a road flooding by any means, at least at this given time. But we'll keep you updated and see if anything does come out of that. Thank you, Michael and Lover, for subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, let me hop back over and see what we got going. Again, this is the one warning near Boiling Springs, north of Spartanburg. Again, one's going to head into Charlotte here pretty soon. We'll be watching this cell pretty closely. I don't think we have any other radar sites within range. I don't think we do. We actually have the one in Charlotte. Let's go from the closer radar site. And this is a look at the cell as of right now, pretty close to the radar site. And kind of get a general idea of what we're looking at here. The storm right now is near Mount Holly and Lowell and Belmont. Again, this is the one going towards Charlotte, producing 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. Again, we have a lot of tree damage coming out of the cell right now, even though it does not look overly severe by the reflectivity values. It is packing a punch and damaging wind terms. We've at least had 10, 15 trees already down from the storm, and it's probably going to continue as this moves towards Charlotte. Hopefully it weakens before it gets there, but we'll have to wait and see. Let me back over to this radar site. Yeah, you can see all these blue squares. Again, those are representing wind damage. So we have several of those, as I mentioned before, from Polkville all the way back through Lincolnton. And also probably start to increase as we get closer to Mount Holly and as well as Charlotte. We'll probably see more reports coming in here pretty shortly. Sounds good, Joy. I'll take a look. Yeah, again, if you have any photos, videos, anything like that, feel free to send them in on our Twitter. Thank you, Joy. I appreciate it. Yeah, there's been a lot of flooding, and unfortunately, that's been a big issue. It's not really just been here. It's not really a big issue in the Carolinas. It's more of like Texas right now. South Texas has seen almost, one area I think has seen as much as 15 inches of rain in the past 48 hours. Luckily, it's been over a elongated amount of time. Otherwise, we would probably be talking about a flash flood emergency down that direction. But yeah, it's been really, really active. Alec, nobody's actually pointed that out before. It actually happens a lot. It's mainly because the monitor, I don't know what it is, but whenever I bump my desk, it starts to kind of shake. But it's more than anything. I move around a lot, so yeah, I'll have to, in about a week or two, it should be fixed. I'll have a new little setup. I appreciate you pointing that out. You're the first one actually to mention that, and it happens more often than you think. Corpus Christi looking wild. Corpus Christi's been wild for the last few days. If you guys didn't see my TikTok, you guys gotta watch my TikTok. It's the one of, it's the people literally using rafts and kayaks in Corpus Christi. It's crazy what people do when it's flooding. It is insane. I'll link it in chat if anybody's interested. I'll link it real quick, but yeah, there's people literally using rafts and kayaks and stuff. If you want to watch it again, link is posted from me. But yeah, it's crazy. It's pretty insane what happens whenever flooding happens, and it's not like major to the point where, you know, houses are flooded and you just see the roads flooded over but nothing else, like your house is totally fine. People just bring out their rafts, bring out their kayaks, bring out their canoes. I mean, it's not really safe. It's really not something you should do, but people do it. And I guess you only live once. What's happening for dinner tonight? I have no clue. Thank you, Casey, for subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, let me hop back over to the severe weather. Haven't really discussed that in a minute. We are currently at 9 severe thunderstorm warnings. We also have 21 flash flood warnings. And flash flooding has been the biggest concern over the last several days. We do have a new damage report coming in back over from the storm that was producing some very significant hail. This storm has weakened really quickly, by the way, but several trees and some power poles have been down or are down on Gibson Avenue. So that's back near McCall. Again, that's the area where I mentioned a lot of significant hail and damaging winds went through these areas. We now have confirmation of power poles down and whatnot. We also had reports of ping pong ball sized hail in Hamlet. So yeah, again, that storm was producing ping pong ball sized hail and up to 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds. That is definitely not out of the question that we could see some more damage, you know, beyond with all these other storms as well. Brand new warning was issued for Lillington, Coates, Benson, Dunn, Four Oaks, Newton Grove, Linden, all included for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. That is moving off to the east-northeast. Alec, you're the first. It's pretty funny. Literally, nobody's ever asked that before, and it happens a lot, really often. Yeah, Denver has a lot of storms there right now. It is pretty crazy what we're seeing right now in Denver. There's a lot of storms. It's more of a flooding potential more than anything, but those storms have been very vicious, to say the least, over that direction. By the way, this is going toward Interstate 95 and 40 near Benson. Benson, I am pretty sure, is a bit more populated, so again, moving off to the east. Northeast. This is definitely a storm to watch. I'm actually going to put a track on this. Pretty sure this is pretty outflow driven, but we'll take a look at the track. Going to give you an idea of where it's going to be heading over the next several minutes. And again, it'll probably be going into North Carolina. Again, it's in North Carolina as of right now. I'll be kind of tracking off that direction. I may have put it a bit more off to the northeast than really where it's going. But as of right now, Lillington, Irwin are kind of in the track in the next 15 minutes or so, as well as Dunn, 551, Benson, 603. 618 for Four Oaks, Smithfield 633, West Smithfield 636, Princeton 640, Selma 641, Kenley 659, and Fremont right around 706. Again, that's moving off to the east-northeast. I kind of put it too far off to the northeast, but you can kind of get the general picture. Goldsboro probably right around 645 with this cell. Again, mainly producing damaging winds around 60. May also have some quarter-sized hail as well as that moves off that direction. All right. Yeah, we've had some pretty crazy photos coming out of Denver and a lot of crazy videos too. Those storms are vicious, to say the least, over that direction. Let's hop back over to Charlotte for right now. Charlotte's storm actually seems to be weakening a bit, which is really good news. This storm, again, has produced a lot of tree damage, and power lines also gone down with this storm, but it does seem to be weakening a bit as it's heading towards Charlotte, which, again, very good news overall as that tracks off to the east and, again, east-southeast, but and more than anything, the cell back out to the west is more potent right now. The couple of cells that were ongoing, the one that had really significant hail and damaging winds, that's fizzled out for the most part, just rain now. The cell near Charlotte starting to fizzle out. Again, we're not really at the end of severe weather in the Carolinas. We're probably going to see some more severe weather over the next 2 to 3 hours. I think the overall severe weather does start to taper off a bit more after 8, once the sunlight, or really daylight heating, I should say, expires. But yeah, I mean, damaging winds and really hail and isolated tornadoes still going to be possibilities over the next few hours. But as of right now, I don't think we have anything too crazy going on in Texas. Again, Texas is the area where we've already had 6 tornado warnings today. But more than anything, flash flooding concerns have built in for those areas down in Texas. I do think the storms are right now weakening, though, for the most part, down there in Texas and South Texas, to be specific. Take a look real quick on my phone, but I don't think there's anything too crazy in that area. Yeah, all the rotation for the most part is kind of fizzled out there in South Texas. There's still a low-end chance for an isolated tornado again back over here into the Carolinas. So it's kind of what we're watching for at this point. Pikes Peaks Cam. All right, let me take a look at that. What state is that, Matt? Is that North or South Carolina? All right. If you have any questions, feel free to comment in the chat. Again, very interactive live stream here. If you're new, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Make sure to hit the like button as well. We're only 15 likes from 300. Would appreciate it. Raleigh might see something. Oh, never mind. Raleigh might get something, but I do think the overall chances of severe weather is pretty low. You might get some rain, but isolated chance for a storm or two. Most of the storms right now, this one specifically is down to your south. I don't think it'll reach you. You might get an outflow boundary, might bring some gusty winds, but oh, it's Colorado. Thank you. But yeah, I don't expect too much in terms of severe weather for that location at this point. You might see an isolated storm, but I think the chances are pretty low. All right, let me take a look at Colorado. See if I can find that. Yeah, but the storms in Colorado are pretty insane. I don't see it on here. We have some in Aurora. We actually have a really good camera in Aurora. I don't think it's going right now. Like, by the way, if you have any photos, videos from your location, feel free to tweet me on Twitter, message me on Instagram or Facebook. Again, all those links in the description below. You can also join our Discord server, send in photos on there. Again, really well appreciate if you're near any of these storms. Again, do it safely. Do not go outside. If there's any storms in your area, take the proper precautions if you're going to do so. But let's help the overall gist of what the storms actually look like. And this storm probably has some sort. I might have a shelf cloud here. I'm not entirely sure. Because again, this is probably outflow driven. Moving off to the northeast. Yeah, warning, by the way, over in Charlotte is currently, again, still ongoing. Does seem like the storm is weakening a good amount, which is good news. But let's look at the velocities. This is, again, pretty close to the radar site here. And maybe some high winds back up here. That might be also a glitch. Let me go a little bit higher up. Let's go to here. And we do have a little pocket of maybe some up to 60-mile-per-hour winds back up near Lowesville. That is off to the north of Charlotte. So if you're in like the suburbs of Charlotte, kind of like off to the north, there may be a little bit of damaging winds up this direction, and it definitely looks pretty prominent here. Again, this is a little bit off the ground, so maybe a little bit lower at the surface, but again, we've already seen a lot of trees down from the storm. Definitely not out of the question that we're looking at maybe some 60-mile-per-hour winds there. Down the southern end near Charlotte, seems to be mostly gusty winds right now. Again, just stay away from windows, take the proper precautions, but maybe a little bit of gusty winds or maybe a little bit of damaging winds back up near maybe even just west of Interstate 77 right now. All right, let's hop back over to the other radar site. This is the cell going towards Spartanburg as of right now. Again, this one has had a tornado possible label on it for a while. Have not seen a whole lot of rotation on this, but it definitely probably has a little bit of damaging winds along with this storm going toward Chesney as of right now. Chesney is definitely on the track of this over the next couple of minutes. And it's going to be moving down to the southeast. Again, a lot of these storms are outflow driven, so I do think the tornado potential does still seem to be low tonight, but yeah, watching it pretty closely. Take a look at the Storm Prediction Center. So, by the way, there's a new mesoscale discussion. It was issued about a couple hours, or it was actually issued about an hour ago. But for anywhere in Alabama, mainly northern and central portions of Alabama, there is going to be potentially some damaging winds up to 60, maybe 65 miles per hour through the early evening, and also pockets of wind damage or maybe even a little bit of, hail. Obviously, most of the hail there will be small, but any hail is also going to be possible. A lot of lightning as well. Again, we've already had 2 structural fires there in Double Springs, Alabama, so fortunately, that's also going to be a potential. Hey, Kay, how you doing? Or Kai. Look back, how you doing? How's everybody doing, by the way? How's everybody doing tonight? Is everybody having a good night so far? Everybody having a good Monday? Back to the work week. Everybody's doing well tonight. Let me hop back over to the radar. We're going to go back over to Colorado real quick. I don't know if there's any updates on that warning, but we're going to take a look real quick. We do have wind damage coming out of Alabama. We got several reports here near Asheville. Again, we've had numerous trees and power lines blown down in Asheville. One landed on a manufactured home. That's not very good news at all, but that is where we've seen that. That also could maybe spark a fire. Not entirely sure, but unfortunately, that happened in Asheville. Again, Asheville's seeing a lot of trees down near Ragland. There's also roof damage, excuse me, at a fire department in Ragland. So at a fire department, there's roof damage as well, unfortunately. So that's what we're again seeing here in Alabama. It's definitely unfortunate. Again, this is the look of the storms back up here. This one was originally warned, has expired. The lightning that occurred, the structural damage to fires from lightning has occurred up here in the Houston recreational area back up in Double Springs. So that's our latest update there. And also by the radar site, pretty strong storm developed here for 40-mile-per-hour gusts back down into areas just on the outskirts of Birmingham, just south of there, kind of closer to Interstate 65, it looks like. All right, let's hop back over to Colorado real quick. I haven't looked at this storm in a few minutes. We have a brand new flash flood warning. It is a considerable threat for Aurora. and as well as Denver, southern Denver, I should say, and really any of these suburbs of Denver are included in a brand new flash flood warning. This severe thunderstorm warning has actually been upgraded to 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds, so it seems as if the wind speeds have gone up a little bit on this cell. Our latest update here. I'm doing good, Marshall. How about you? It's raining. I know. Rain is pretty exciting, especially if you haven't seen rain in a while. It is exciting to see. It's a sight to see. It's like seeing your first ever snowflake. If you've never, like for example, if you haven't seen rain in 2 months and you see rain, it's almost like seeing like literally your first ever snow. If you've ever seen snow before, you might know. Or like the first snow of the season, you know, that sort of thing. This is a look at the storms, by the way, over in Florida. Again, Evan was sending these in. He went on a little chase. Storms have been weakening for the most part now, but yeah, pretty cool to see. I like looking at the ocean water too. Pretty nice. Evan sending those in. That was from somewhere in the Panhandle of Florida. I'm not sure where, but that's where those photos were coming in from. We had a couple of storms develop down there. Nothing severe, but a couple of strong storms developed. Always cool looking at the cloud shapes and whatnot. Hey, Moxie, how you doing? Don't be sorry. Appreciate you tuning in. And cooking dinner, I got you. Yeah, I'm kind of hungry. What are you cooking for dinner? Anything good? Hey, Vicky, how you doing? From Northwest North Carolina. Hey, I hope you stay safe if you see any storms tonight. I think you won't see much, but stay safe. Let me go over to the velocities real quick. I haven't looked at that. Yeah, the highest winds as of right now are east of 470 on this storm. Go over to the velocities. Yeah, let's look at it. So winds are peaking around 60, it looks like. Again, the warning is for up to 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds. It's not out of the question. But most of the winds, it seems like as of right now, are going to be between about 55 to 65 at the most. I'm seeing mostly around 60, though, with this cell. Again, south of Interstate 70, it is warned again for maybe a little bit of damaging winds up to 70. But I think most of it is going to be 60-mile-per-hour winds. Maybe a little bit of quarter-sized hail, but I think that hail threat is also pretty low as of right now. By the way, if you're not in our Discord server and you're in the stream right now, join our Discord server. Again, links in the chat from Nightbot. Check it out. I have a lot of stuff on there, a lot of photos and videos. How's Northeast North Carolina looking for the evening and overnight? Overall, the threat for severe weather is going to be pretty low. Again, you could maybe see an isolated storm, but I think any severe weather will probably be down to your southwest. Again, the closest storm to you is south of Raleigh, so the storm right now, this is the most severe one that we have in this portion of North Carolina. It's really, I think, the only cell that we actually have in at least this portion of North Carolina. This one's producing 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail, but I don't think this one will get to you. If it does, you might see some rain. That'd be about it. I don't think you'll see much in terms of severe weather tonight, especially with how the storms are going to kind of go and really roll tonight. Most of the severe weather will most likely kind of fizzle out before it gets to the North Carolina coastline. And really any of these coastlines, I do think most of these storms will likely fizzle out as they move out closer to the coast. But inland, that's where really the severe weather potential exists tonight. Especially again for central and southern North Carolina into extreme northern South Carolina as well. But that's what we got going as of right now. Again, two little areas to watch for tornado potential tonight. Again, South Texas, probably very low at this point. I think that threat is going to be diminishing very quickly over the next hour. There's also, again, a potential here in the Carolinas. But, again, very low chances again tonight. I got you, Phil. No problem at all. No problem at all. Yeah, overall, the chances of severe weather back up there is going to be pretty low over in North Carolina. So good news, good news, good news. Back over to Charlotte. The warning goes for another 8 minutes. It looks like the cell is weakening very rapidly. So those in Charlotte, good news. Maybe just some rain. But I do think that severe weather potential is weakening as of right now. We just have a warning back up into Virginia. This may be let to expire. This storm seems to be weakening a bit. This, again, you're Dublin. It's really along Interstate 81. It seems like this storm's also weakening a bit, which is good news. Moving off to the east. We do have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning somewhere. We're now up to 8 warnings. We'll take a look at where that is in a second. But we'll go back to this storm while I figure that out. There might be a new one over in Colorado, if anything. That's kind of in the area. Or in... Yeah, we have a new one in Colorado. Let's go take a look at the new one in Colorado. And Colorado has some pretty significant weather ongoing here. A lot of flooding potential as well. Brand new severe thunderstorm warning for another considerable threat of 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds. So that threat for up to 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds will still on go. It's going towards Bennett and as well as Interstate 70. That's our main areas in the track as of right now. And look at this outflow boundary. This is a pretty well-defined outflow boundary. Again, we're very close to the radar site, which would make sense why it's so defined, but a very, very defined outflow boundary here moving off to the north and east. Yeah, again, brand new warning here. And the other warning actually got downgraded to 60 mile per hour winds. I'm assuming the winds are probably coming from that outflow boundary. If not, maybe from some strong downburst winds embedded in this storm as well. So that's what we're looking at as of right now. Moving off to the northeast. Gotta sell the watch. Hey, Banana, how you doing? Welcome back. Serious rain in East Aurora, Colorado. There's been a lot of rain, and again, flooding potential exists, especially in the suburbs of Colorado too. That is where we've seen most of the overall storm action at this point. Is pretty much right down there, just south of Denver, really on the outskirts. We've actually had a report in 30 minutes in Sedalia, if I'm saying the name right. So in Douglas County, Colorado, there was 2 inches of rain in only 30 minutes. That is, again, why we have that flash flooding potential right now ongoing in this area. And it's, again, going to continue most likely for the next hour or two as these storms slowly track off to the north and east. That's what we're looking at as of right now. Hey, Antonio, how you doing? Welcome back. If you have any photos, videos, anything like that, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or Discord. Those are the best ways to do it. All those links are in the description below. So yeah, if you have any photos, feel free to send them in. Ward, Arkansas. I'm not sure where that is, but Arkansas isn't a marginal threat tomorrow for primarily damaging winds and isolated large hail, but it should be a pretty low-end chance tomorrow. Again, if there's any severe weather that needs to be covered, I will go live, but I don't think I'll go live tomorrow. It's going to be probably a pretty low chance I go live tomorrow. Thank you, BT. Yeah, I mean, overall, the severe weather, again, has been pretty minimal recently. This has definitely been the most active day that we've had in weeks, to say the least. But let me go back over to the Storm Prediction Center. Let's see. Yeah, so tomorrow, again, low-end chance. The following day, back down in the southeast, there's a marginal threat as well. I may go live for maybe Wednesday if there's anything too crazy in the southeast. Maybe Alabama, Arkansas, Louisiana, and South Carolina, kind of in that threat. Also in the Florida Panhandle. We might go live then, but we'll see. See if anything crazy happens. Hey, Kevin, how you doing? Welcome back. Yeah, Brad, I'm aware of that. Yeah, the tornado potential does increase as we go into the fall. We have a bit more of patterns and whatnot kind of return. Again, the pattern that we're in is, it's very bland for most of you. I mean, a lot of people are not seeing rain. Some people are seeing a lot of rain, hence the Southwest. But overall, the rain has just been very minimal across a lot of the United States recently. Just the pattern's been, we've just had air masses that have really kept a lot of areas dry. So we'll probably start to see a different story heading into the fall, and obviously that typically happens. Fall is like our second tornado season. That's what a lot of people call it, but it's not nearly as significant as the spring. It's nowhere near it, actually. But another messy day. There's a lot of rain out there. I'm doing good, Dahlia. How about you? Welcome back. Any tornado threats for Nebraska or just hail? Only threat in Nebraska is going to be hail and damaging winds. I don't think we'll see any tornado threat. Let me take a look again at the low-level jet today in the shear. But I don't think the threat, the overall setup is just not there for tornado potential, I don't think, today. Let me double-check, though, for you. Yeah, we do, again, have a marginal threat across the Central Plains tonight as well. And severe weather's kind of really just continue throughout today. Going to continue for a little while today. Tornado parameter, just one tool that we use, but I don't think we'll see anything. Low-level jet is showing almost nothing. The low-level jet is very weak. If there's absolutely any brief spin-up, it would probably be in extreme southern Nebraska. And I'm saying that's a very low chance, though. I don't expect much at all in terms of rotation. But, again, we see some outlier tornadoes in some instances. That very well could be a potential that we see a brief tornado there, but it seems very, very unlikely at this point. We have another brand new severe thunderstorm warning. We'll get to that here momentarily, once I can figure out where it is. Looks like as of right now, I don't see the new warning. The one in Virginia has actually been canceled, by the way, just for reference, but we do have a new warning somewhere. And we have 2 in Colorado. That's where we're at as of right now. We actually have a tornado warning up in Canada. We have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings in North Carolina, 1 in South Carolina. We have 1 in California. So severe thunderstorm warning over in California. Can you believe it? California's been an area that's actually seen a little bit of severe weather recently, primarily in the southern portion of the state. So kind of interesting there. Thanks. That's kind of hard to say. It's very difficult to predict where we could see a 10% chance of tornadoes in the long term. I mean, that's very broad to even say that. I mean, honestly, the only way that we can predict that is weather patterns over the next several weeks. Let me take a look real quick at the jet stream, but I don't think we're going to see any major changes to the weather pattern that are going to create severe weather havoc or anything like that, or insane changes. I mean, we're just not going to really see anything that crazy. Even the tropics, again, they're very minimal. People have been saying we're going to see a big storm coming at some point pretty soon. It doesn't seem likely. We just had so much Saharan dust, a lot of unfavorable environments in the Atlantic Ocean. Again, anything that does happen in the Atlantic Ocean would have to come from Africa for the most part right now, or the Gulf of Mexico, and there's just nothing of that nature coming in the next week or two. But yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing anything that crazy on the long-term models right now in terms of jet stream dips and stuff like that for any tornado outbreaks or anything like that. It seems extremely low at this point, at least over the next 2 weeks. Again, we could see something beyond that, but we're gonna have a little trough maybe next week go into New England. That could bring isolated severe weather, but yeah, beyond that, there's just nothing that's forecasted, even by the GFS model, which typically shows something. Yes, California. It's crazy to think. Little warning, it's like east of, I think, Los Angeles. It's pretty far east of there. It's pretty rural. Personality, I saw some article. I don't know if, what it was even about. It said like it's even worse than like some other thing, or I don't even know what the article title was, but I have no clue. I didn't even read the article. But yeah, flooding in California has been it's been a thing for a while. We do have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning back down here near Black Forest. This is for Peyton. That is the new area included in this warning for half-dollar sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds, and there's also a flash flood warning here. So new warning that has just been issued in Colorado. Again, Peyton, Colorado, just northeast of Black Forest. And that's the hail core, by the way. You can very well see it on the radar here. Around half-dollar sized hail. Basically what the warning is for. Again, north of Highway 24 is where we have that little bit of hail right now. Again, moving very slowly off to the north. It's currently only moving 8 miles per hour. So, again, another very slow storm. That is, again, hence why we do have a flash flood warning along with that. So, unfortunately, flash flood warning is going to be ongoing here for another few minutes. And it says mainly rural areas of north central El Paso County. So that is where we're at, apparently, in terms of a location. I didn't know that was a location, but that's where we're at as of right now. Again, off to the east and northeast of Black Forest. Definitely another area to watch pretty closely as well. Back over to the storm, back up near the Denver area. Again, this one's producing damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour. Storm, again, has been very potent here for a while. Look at the winds as of right now. Currently embedded in the storm with the highest downburst winds. It's peaking around 60. There's a 67 showing on here. Definitely can't rule that out, but I think most of the winds right now are up to 60. If you're on Interstate 70, if you're a truck driver, make sure you're, taking the right precautions there. This storm is likely going to be passing over Interstate 70 within the next 5 to 10 minutes as it moves off to the north. Again, it's in between Bennett and Aurora, so really anywhere in between there. Definitely some high winds coming that direction. Also with that outflow boundary, as I mentioned before, a little outflow boundary could definitely bring some gusty winds as well. It's very well defined. Again, on radar, you can see it here. Very well defined. Kind of hard to see after that, but that's where we have that outflow boundary. That also can produce gusty winds upwards of potentially as high as 50 to 60 miles per hour. Some instances a little bit higher, but in this situation, it's probably around 60, potentially slightly higher than that. I like how somebody messaged me and said, is it going to be a cold winter this winter? I mean, it depends on where you are. Probably be a cold winter anywhere you go. I mean, there's always, what's defined as cold? What would you define as a cold temperature? Like, like the highest temperature that's cold. Like, let's just say, like anything below 40 degrees. Like, what's your cold temperature begin at? Like 40 degrees, 50, what is it? Curious to see what you guys are thinking about that. Let me take a look real quick at, what was I going to look at? Let's go to this real quick. I'm going to take a look and see if we have any updates here in Colorado. We do have a new mesoscale discussion, by the way. There's a low chance that we see a severe thunderstorm watch get issued. This is the area that is in potential for severe weather over the next few hours. A few severe gusts are possible this afternoon. A severe thunderstorm watch, though, is not expected at this time. But the lapse rates right now are modest, which, again, 7 degrees Celsius per kilometer. That's not really supportive of significant hail, but we definitely could potentially see hail as high as maybe $half to ping pong ball sized hail. And that is what this cell basically. This cell is probably the most capable of producing hail right now. But overall, hail will not exceed golf ball size, I would say, in this area tonight. It's mainly going to be damaging winds in Colorado. But tornado threat, again, still does exist over there in the Carolinas. All right, let's go back over to this. Right. Take a look. Welcome back. I hear the South Texas that is a warning. There was a tornado warning earlier, and there was actually 6 tornado warnings, I believe, total so far in South Texas today. But I don't know if any of them actually did produce a tornado. Again, it was from that tropical low that made landfall yesterday, or really like basically overnight. San Antonio will not see that, though. You're not going to see any tornado threat today. It's primarily down to your south and west, which it seems like it's diminishing anyways now. Below 40. Honestly, for me, you guys might be surprised, but cold to me is like below 70 degrees. Seems kind of high, but that's kind of what it is nowadays for me. But even like wind with 75 degrees feels pretty cold too. Me. Sometimes I have to pull out that jacket, you know? We do have a new report, by the way, in Foxfield, that's southeast of Denver. Brand new report, road flooded, 6 inches of water at Mansfield. So obviously we are seeing a lot of rain here. 6 inches of rain has fallen here, or at least 6 inches of water. That might be a measurement and it'll overpass 2, that's possible. But road is flooded in Foxfield. That's near East Loyola Drive. So that's our latest report. By the way, over in Lone Tree, we do have a 62-mile-per-hour wind gust being reported there at 527. That's again associated with the cell right now producing winds as high as 70 miles per hour. So that's where we're at as of right now. Yeah, again, I'm kind of crazy for 70 degrees and less, but it's kind of my definition of cold. Hey, thanks, Brandon. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. For tuning in. Yeah, my definition of cold. I might be crazy for it, but 70 degrees and less. That's my top of the number. Can't go anything below 70. I need a fleece jacket for nowadays. Back when I lived in the Northeast, 35 degrees or less was when I needed a fleece jacket. Literally, I'd be wearing shorts and a t-shirt every day for any temperatures between 35 to like 50 degrees. Teachers found me insane. I literally wear shorts, and like they would actually, there was rules at school where you would have to actually wear pants at one point if it was a certain temperature. So I would literally be wearing shorts and a t-shirt when it was like 30 degrees out. And snow on the ground, by the way. It's kind of funny to think. I kind of forgot about that until now. I just thought of it. All right, let's take a look and see if we have any new warnings. Let's take a look at North Carolina and whatnot. Yeah, again, we have one warning currently south of Raleigh, North Carolina. That storm is still producing up to 60-mile-per-hour winds. That's in Benson as of right now. Yeah, Texas really made me different in terms of weather. Really different. But we also have a warning in South Carolina near Chesney. We'll hop back over to South Carolina and give an update on that stuff here in a moment. We have a new warning south of Birmingham. That was a storm that newly developed. Let's hop over to that real quick. And we also let's hop over to the first one in Arkansas, and then we'll go over to Birmingham. This storm is producing 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail west of Norman. Seems to be pretty rural. Mimosa is currently the area included. So, warning there. Let's go over to the Birmingham storms, though. Again, this area has had a lot of storms ongoing. This is one near Albaster. That's kind of near Columbiana. That is moving down to the east-southeast. This is near the radar site, near Interstate 65. This is producing 60-mile-per-hour winds. Not any hail threat with this one specifically. Could see some pea-sized hail, but nothing beyond that. That does include areas like Columbiana, as well as Wilsonville, Lake Shelby, Beeswax Creek Park, okay, Alabama 4-H Center, Shelby Shores, Highway 145, and CR 46, Spring Creek, and Kelly Branch included in that warning. So that's our brand new severe thunderstorm warning. We also have more damage reports coming in. Apparently, a tin roofing was partially blown off at a store near downtown Boaz. That's near Albertville. So again, another storm producing damage here in Alabama tonight. And again, we had from earlier 2 lightning strikes apparently, or 2 structure fires began from lightning strikes up in the Double Springs area of Alabama. So unfortunately, there has been a lot of damage already. And obviously, it's not to the extent where we've seen significant, like, you know, beyond like a marginal or slight risk, but it's obviously a lot of damage that we just don't need at this point. We do have a new warning back down near Hodges and 96 and Greenwood for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. There is a tornado possible label on this one. As of right now, the rotation, not overly impressive, but there is maybe a little bit there. Probably more of any rotation that we've seen so far tonight with any of these storms beyond the ones from Texas. So, again, brand new severe thunderstorm warning for damaging winds up to 60. Quarter-sized hail, tornado possible is also on this one. And that's moving down to the southeast. And the severe thunderstorm watch again goes until 10 o'clock tonight. I believe it's been condensed a little bit, just to reference. The storm over here, back up near Valley Falls and Boiling Springs. This one seems to be missing Boiling Springs for the most part. But this one's producing 60-mile-per-hour winds up to quarter-sized hail as well. That's moving down to the southeast toward Gaffney. It's also near Interstate 85. So that's what we're looking at as of right now. Back over to the storm south of Raleigh. This is the one that I mentioned before. This has been the one that has been the severe for the longest, I think, actually, at this point, and as well as the one over in South Carolina. That one's been severe for a while, too. But this one near Benson, again, it's rolling through Benson as of right now and going toward Interstate 40. That's producing 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. We'll take a look at the hail radar. I'm not sure if the hail's really up to quarter size, but we'll take a look at it. "35 degrees in my house." That's crazy. Yeah, I'm not seeing a whole lot of hail here. Not seeing a whole lot of hail. It's mostly just damaging winds, I would say. It says quarter-sized hail, but I don't think it's really at that point. No tornado possible, by the way, on this one, which would make, sense. It's more of an outflow-driven storm to begin with. Not a whole lot of rotation with most of these storms, other than the one near Greenwood. That's probably the one that we've had probably the most rotation on by far. All right, let's hop back over to Colorado. Colorado actually has the most severe thunderstorm warnings out of any state, I believe, right now. So, the state has been seeing a lot of severe storms. And here's your hail core again, back down near Payton. This one, again, is producing up to $half sized hail. Might be even a little bit higher than that. Definitely can't run out a little bit of ping pong ball sized hail, but yeah, a lot of hail there. All right, let me hop over to take a look, see. I say Alabama. I meant to say Colorado. I said I don't know why. I might have said Alabama by accident. By the way, this severe thunderstorm warning for Payton County is actually including around almost 5,000 people. So there's actually a lot of people in this warning. It also includes Falcon, by the way, but it's primarily now off to the north. It is north of Highway 24. It's kind of on the outskirts of Payton. Payton is right here for reference. So again, the overall hail core is moving very slowly off to the north, so it is going away from Payton as of right now. We're looking as of right now. Real quick, I'm going to take off these tornado possible because we're kind of in between storms. Just make sure nobody's getting confused on the tornado possibles. It's mostly hail and damaging winds right now. We do, again, have some broad rotation on a few cells, but nothing that is to the point where there needs to be a tornado warning as of this time. But we'll, again, we'll be watching that pretty closely. We do have a lot of damage reports, as I mentioned before. We do have a couple, I think, new ones. Take a look. All the damage reports that we've seen so far are in North Carolina. That's mostly west of Charlotte. We've had a couple on the North Carolina and as well as the North Carolina border back near McCole. Those damage reports, obviously, from trees and power lines down, as well as Alabama. Those are really where we've had damage reports so far. Again, the storm back up here to the north in portions, basically southeast of Denver. Again, we had a 62-mile-per-hour wind gust from recently, and we've also had a road flooded over in Foxfield, apparently 6 inches of water at Mansfield, as well as the Loyola Drive area, also having that report of maybe some flooded over roads. And again, there is a flash flood warning ongoing for both of these locations for at least the next couple of hours. So, unfortunately, flash flooding is going to be a concern here in the Rocky Mountains, basically, and anywhere in Colorado. That also includes anywhere in the Southwest. We're looking at right now in terms of that threat. Hey, Runway, how you doing? Welcome back. Anything for Round Rock? Not a whole lot. Again, isolated damaging wind gusts would be my only concern over that direction. Thank you, Hype Beast, as well as Bia, by the way, for subscribing. We're currently in Colorado, but we've been kind of covering as well as the Carolinas. All right. How you doing, Hype? Welcome back. Welcome, I should say. Take a look. Hey, Evan, do you have anything on Twitter coming in? I'm guessing not, but just curious. I haven't seen a whole lot recently in terms of photos. Obviously, there might be something in this area. Let's take a look and see if we have any traffic cams coming in over here. Not sure if there's a whole lot to see here in Colorado, but we'll take a look. It's near Bennett. Again, this storm's been producing winds as high as 70. So, again, probably our most severe storm by far has been here. Let's see. I like how we have traffic cams that literally show snow. Like, they're like, they haven't updated in like a year. I don't think any of these are actually working right now, which is kind of unfortunate. Apparently there's we have a report from Parker, Colorado. I believe that's pretty close to this area. Just a lot of rain falling. Just a lot of rain. Yeah, the rain is very heavy. Obviously, for those that are anywhere in these storms, along Interstate 70 specifically, that is where we have a lot of heavy rain falling. So, obviously, driving conditions will be pretty difficult with all the rain that's falling right now. Visibility will drop significantly in these areas, anywhere along Interstate 70 specifically, but anywhere in the rain, obviously, will have a big difference in terms of what we're seeing. From visibility going from maybe 9 to 10 miles all the way probably down to under half a mile for some of these areas. So, again, if you're traveling along the interstate, stay safe. Definitely a lot of rain here. The I-70 cameras. Take a look. I'm not sure if there's any really good cameras along Interstate 70, but I'll take a look. We had some good success back a few weeks ago when we had that tornado, like almost tornado outbreak, basically, that kind of transpired in eastern Colorado, but that was obviously a few weeks ago. For anybody that was here then, that was insane. For some reason, I gotta figure this out. Everything's just not working. Cameras are not popping up for me for some reason. All right, back over here. That looks good, Moxie. Like a good drink. All right, I'll take a look. So we have some photos coming in on Instagram. Let me take a look at that. Yeah, we do have 9 severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing as of right now. So we do have a lot ongoing still with severe weather. Again, one's about to expire here in Colorado, but we'll go back over to the other storms here pretty shortly in the Carolinas. We'll see if anything's updated there. Overall, it seems like the severe weather right now has been kind of at a lull, but again, we'll probably see more tonight. Take a look at here. I didn't see messages. There we go. Just wind for Round Rock. There you go. Yeah, most of any severe weather down there is going to be wind. Hop over to this. All right, so some photos were sent in. They're actually pretty good. Thank you for sending those in. So yeah, stormy conditions again over in eastern Aurora, Colorado. We have some photos coming in from there. But beyond that, it's just a lot of rain for the most part. Nothing too crazy in terms of the cloud shapes, but you have a lot of rain coming out of there. Top back over to the Carolinas. We'll see if there's anything ongoing here. Again, the only cell that we currently have severe is actually the one in Greenwood. Just want to get at a tornado possible label on it. I'm not sure if there's really a whole lot here, though, anymore in terms of rotation. Seems to be fairly broad, if anything, right now. Watch it again pretty closely. Nothing too crazy as of now with the storm. I'll hop over to here real quick. Back up to the north again. This watch goes until 10 o'clock. There are a lot of strong storms. Not a whole lot of these are actually warned. Near Bennettsville, for example, we have a lot of strong storms here. We might get a warning on this one here pretty soon. It's another one that's strong as well, east of Norwood near 731, west of Interstate 73. That is also strong. So again, several strong storms here. I am not seeing a whole lot, though, of storms that are like, you know, to the extent where we're looking at significant damage units or hail at this point, which is good news. But again, we had a lot of tree damage and whatnot from earlier in the beginning of the stream. It seems like it's winding out a little bit, but we'll be updated for the next few minutes. Again, if there's not a whole lot of severe weather over the next few minutes, we may end up ending the live stream and maybe going live again later if some storms start to develop back up in the central and northern plains. Would give me a chance to eat as well because I've not eaten, but pretty hungry right now. Haven't had dinner. I had to issue a slight risk because there was a potential for some more widely scattered damaging winds, which we've actually seen so far. So, been widely scattered severe weather so far in those areas, and actually, it's lived up. I mean, it's definitely been a slight risk. I would definitely define that as a slight risk myself. Which we've seen, you know, instances recently where we have marginal threats when they could have very well been slight risks or even more than that. So I think overall, it's actually been very accurate so far, at least risk potential for today. This is again to look at it. Which we've definitely seen a good amount of severe weather here. Now, it's kind of a bit further north than probably where it should be, but overall, we've seen a lot of damage already. We've had a lot of trees down and whatnot. A lot of storms also ongoing. Again, some of these could very well be producing some low-end severe weather threats. Marginal threat, you can see very widely isolated severe weather in these areas. So definitely a big difference in between the slight and marginal threat. But yeah, that's kind of what we've seen so far. And this marginal threat, again, we saw like 6 tornado warnings down here in South Texas today. So it's been a very active afternoon there. And then we have a couple of marginal threats here. Those are for more for tonight, not really for now. They're more for a little bit later. So that is what we're looking at as of right now in those locations. But yeah, I think it's pretty accurate. We've had some questionable marginal threats that have ended up being a lot more than what they really are. But I don't know what time it is. You know, I know people that eat dinner at like 10 o'clock. I know people that eat dinner really late. That's not because they're working, it's just because they eat dinner really late. We do have photos coming in, by the way, from... Let me take a look. We have photos of damage from the areas. Let me go over here. Hey, McCall. McCall, again, was probably the worst hit town so far today. We have a lot of trees down there. If you want to check that out, I'm going to retweet it on Twitter. All right, there we go. So yeah, again, we had some reports back over there in McCall of, again, trees down. We've had a lot of that so far. McCall, that's, again, South Carolina, kind of on the North Carolina and South Carolina border. That's where we've had a lot of damage reports so far today. So again, if you want to check out the photos, you can go to my Twitter, link down in the description. Also, it's posted by Nightbot in the chat. I'll check that out. All right, let me back over to here. Let's take a look and see if we have any new warnings. Again, we have 6 ongoing as of right now. Yeah, nothing new as of right now. Again, if we don't see anything too crazy develop over the next 5 to 10 minutes, I may end the stream there. We'll probably at least be live for another 15 minutes if there's anything to be noted. But if we don't see anything beyond that, I'll probably end up ending the live stream for now. We might go back live later. But again, we'll be live for at least the next 10 to 15 minutes. Up until, you know, if there's anything on the radar, we'll definitely keep you updated. But cool. Nothing severe is expected for Arkansas tonight, other than maybe isolated damaging winds, but it's going to be very, very widely scattered. We do have a hail report coming out of Columbiana, by the way, in Alabama. This storm, again, is producing winds as high as 60 of maybe some pea-sized hail. So very small hail, quarter of an inch sized hail, basically. So again, the warning currently is mainly only for damaging winds, and it has been since the beginning. So we haven't really had a whole lot of a hail potential with this, but we could very well see a little bit of a cumulative hail with some of these storms, especially in Alabama. Even this south. I mean, we definitely could see that potential. Cumulative hail is something that's happened a little bit. Actually have some storms down here. Are these actual storms? Down near right? These cell. Hey, Evan. Some storms down over near Pensacola. Want to go for a little drive? No, I'm kidding. It's a couple storms, though. Just a couple strong storms more than anything. I do have a new wind gust report coming out of this storm. This is producing winds up to 70. The latest report was 58 miles per hour. So that is in a county I cannot pronounce, but that is south of Interstate 70. So we did have a wind gust of 58 with this storm. It's currently warned for 70. I think that threat's probably going to go down, though. Thank you, Raven, Thought, and as well as Miriam for subscribing, by the way. I appreciate it. Again, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button down below. Again, we do live streams like this all the time. I would appreciate if you hit the subscribe button. We're only 150 subscribers from 16,000. So I would appreciate it. Also hit the like button if you're new here. Captain, storms even snow? I've done that. I've done that too. I've camped in snow. Storm back down here near Payton is still pretty impressive. It's now down to quarter-sized hail. The actual hail core is actually kind of shifted slightly to the east. Again, Payton is right here. The hail core is back up here. It's moving a bit more, it seems like, to the east right now. It's very stationary overall. Again, hence the flash flood warning, but they're pretty impressive. Nah, it's fine. He doesn't have to go chasing for that. Nah, it's fine. The storms aren't even that crazy. It's just a couple of, you know, pop-up storms. Honestly, the storm activity that happens in Florida, it's very hit or miss. You know, storms can pop up quick, and storms can weaken very fast as well. I mean, it's an ever-going pattern in Florida. It's very, very typical. Storms will develop for a few minutes, they will peak, and then they will start to weaken by the time you can even get there. Is there a tornado for the severe thunderstorm watch? Oh, no. As of right now, there's no... Well, I mean, there's a low-end chance for an isolated tornado in the Carolinas. Again, we've had damage reports, but it's mostly trees down. It seems to be, at this point, we've had no tornadoes at this given time for the Carolinas. Again, the threat still goes until 10 o'clock tonight. I don't think we'll see anything beyond 8, though, to be honest with you, in terms of tornado threats. I think the overall threat is mainly going to be damaging winds with any cell across the United States today that does become severe. So... it's kind of my thinking at this point. We had 6 tornado warnings in Texas, but that's, again, from the tropical low that's currently now in Mexico. Yeah, right, Oki. I don't think we're ever going to get there, but you never know. Thanks, Brad. Appreciate it. It's crazy. It's crazy. We haven't grown a whole lot recently. I haven't really been live recently either. There's just not much to cover, but yeah, it's crazy how much the page has grown. We do have a special marine warning. I'm not sure where that is, but we have another. Oh, we actually do have a severe thunderstorm warning down in Florida. Look at that, near Pensacola, 60-mile-per-hour winds. Little cell down there near Milton and Pace. So a brand new severe thunderstorm warning there. Warning counts down to 6, by the way. And definitely dropping off. Thank you, Bill, by the way, for subscribing. I appreciate it. Yes, I'll take a look at the velocities here in a second. I'm just going to check where that new warning is. I believe there's a new severe thunderstorm warning somewhere. We actually have 2 tornado warnings in Canada. Yeah, we have another warning in California, so that's what we're looking at as of right now. All right, let's see. Yeah, I'll probably do some live coverage of winter and stuff. Yeah, we'll be doing live coverage of some stuff. Tornado ongoing. Oh, in Canada, are you talking about? Oh, we have a new tornado warning. Okay, well, maybe we're not going to get off anytime soon. Where is this tornado warning? Set up in Nebraska? We have a confirmed tornado on the ground up in North Dakota. Again, a tornado is currently on the ground here in Colorado, or excuse me, not in Colorado, in North Dakota. This is a tornado on the ground. Moving to the east-southeast. This is near Butte and south of 53. Again, we have a tornado on the ground right now. Moving down to the east. We'll go to the velocities here in just a second. Again, this is a confirmed and observed tornado in Colorado. Again, seek shelter immediately away from windows, lowest floor possible. Oh, and move this over real quick. I don't have a slide for this, but there we go. So again, tornado is currently on the ground here in North Dakota. This is currently moving off to the east. Here's your tornado. Yeah, so you can see it on the ground here, and it's observed. It's right now near 41. That is where we have a tornado currently on the ground, moving off to the east. And you can see it on the very back end of this storm right now. So again, a brand new tornado warning. Again, this is a tornado on the ground near 53, and again, 41. This is east of Benedict is where we're currently at. Again, this is an observed and on-the-ground tornado. So seek shelter immediately, again, away from windows and lowest floor possible. Again, if you're in this tornado warning. That is a very interesting looking storm too. It's kind of on the back end. Again, Butte as well as east of Benedict is where we're at as of right now. South of Highway 52 as well. Pretty far south of there as of right now. Again, this is your tornado. Let's take a look at the correlation coefficient. And it's kind of hard to depict any debris here, but that's again where the tornado is on the ground. And that is very well defined here on radar as well. You can see it very clearly. Very tight rotation. That is where your tornado is as of right now. Again, here in North Dakota. This is at least now our first confirmed tornado of the day in this area, or really any area in general, I think. I don't think we've had any confirmed tornadoes beyond this. So again, tornado is right now on the ground. Seek shelter immediately away from windows, lowest floor possible. Canada sees actually tornadoes pretty often. Canada is a state that sees a decent amount of tornadoes. By the way, we do have a new mesoscale discussion coming out for North Dakota, which again is where we're at right now. That is where we currently have an ongoing tornado warning. Again, observed tornado. This tornado again is on the ground. Again, moving off to the east. Again, this is it's kind of hard to tell right now, but it's in between Benedict and Butte. I'll take a look at Twitter and see if we got anything here. If there's any photos, by the way, just feel free to let me know. I don't see any of those right now. Yeah, this is a confirmed tornado moving off to the east. And east-southeast more than anything. We got over to the tornado warning. There we go. Yeah, as of right now, still waiting on that new mesoscale discussion. We'll read it here in a second. But again, that's for North Dakota and where that's main area right now. Did I say state? Not country. My bad. All right, here's the latest scan. It seems like it's weakening a little bit. Might still be a tornado on the ground, but again, we're going to watch this one pretty closely. It's on the back end of the storm as of right now. Again, near 41. That's again where the tornado is. It's likely not rain wrapped. It's definitely not rain wrapped at this point. It's more really, if you're a storm chaser, kind of just south right now of this cell on 41, you very well probably could see this. But again, we've had an observed tornado with this cell I believe, unless it's radar confirmed. It says observed on here. I'm not sure if it's always accurate there. No, confirmed tornado. So public confirmed tornado. So somebody's actually seen this tornado on the ground for reference. And this is an ongoing confirmed tornado right now in North Dakota. Go back over to here. And this will look at the radar again. That's the area where we potentially still have a tornado on the ground, but seems like it may have lifted up on the latest scan, but it definitely can't confirm that. We'll have to wait for the next radar scan as well. Try to draw a little bit bigger of a circle. There we go. That's again near 41. And south 53. So it seems like we had a tornado on the ground at least for a few minutes. We might still have it on the ground, but any idea on the size of the tornado? It's pretty hard to tell, but it's probably gonna be something on the small end. Andy, probably on the small end. Thank you, Mark, by the way, for subscribing. Appreciate it. We're currently in North Dakota, is where this tornado is on the ground. Probably a landspout. It probably is. It might have actually been a tornado. The rotation seemed to be more of a tornado type rotation. All right, so the new mesoscale discussion, by the way. So yeah, best landspout potential. There might have been a landspout. It kind of looked like more of a tornado though on radar, but near 41 and 53. But the new mesoscale discussion. Here's a look at it. Again, this is where we do have an ongoing tornado on the ground. This is a look at the threat tonight. Again, where we're looking for a potential isolated couple of landspouts is going to probably be in this area, maybe a little bit more to the east of that, but that's where we're looking for maybe an isolated, landspout or two with these storms. Beyond that, we do have a potential for large hail and maybe some isolated damaging winds, but it seems like more of a hail threat and maybe isolated landspout threat. And again, we've already had one. We have a confirmed one currently ongoing here near 53. I don't think we have any view on it as of right now. Welcome back, Doug. Austin will not see anything tonight for severe weather. All right, let me go back over to warnings. We'll take a look real quick at the warnings we got going as of right now. We do currently have 8 severe thunderstorm warnings. Again, this is our 1 tornado warning that has, again, an observed tornado on the ground as of right now. Moving again down to the east-southeast. I'm going to take a look and see if we have any cameras coming in here from North Dakota. I'm not sure exactly if there's going to be any up in this direction, but we'll take a look. In here, 53 and 41. Let's take a look and see. Pretty rural area, I'm pretty sure, so it's going to probably be hard to find any, but never know. Doesn't seem like we have any in this area. If we do have any, we'll keep you updated, but as of right now, this storm, again, potentially still has a tornado on the ground. Moving again to the east-southeast. We'll go back over to the velocities once the radar updates here in just a moment. Updating, I believe, in a moment. But this will look again at the velocities. The area of rotation is back here. The latest scan, it broadened out a little bit. Here's a couple of scans back. Let's see when the tornado actually began on the ground. We'll go back through the scans here for a second. Seems like this tornado may have been on the ground at least for a minute or two, or a landspout. You can see where it began. It began here near 41 at 6:09 approximately. Was on the ground here at about 6:13, and then it kind of fizzled out, it looks like, on the latest scan. So that might be good news. Again, not confirmed that we're done with this tornado warning yet, but seems like at this given time the tornado or landspout has lifted, one of the two. Hey Jaws, how you doing? Welcome back. Hey Somni, how you doing? Welcome back as well. Possibly 2 landspouts ongoing with this cell. Take a look at the velocities again. Apparently there might be a couple of... Whoa, what in the world just happened? There might be a couple of areas here. Trying to see if we can get a view on the velocities. There may be another one here. Let me take a look. I'm not entirely sure. Let's see. There's some brighter colors now showing up on the latest scan there. That is well off the storm, but that also possibly could be something. Some stronger winds at least. Maybe another area of circulation trying to develop there. It does occasionally happen with landspouts. Over to the correlation coefficient. Nothing showing up there. Might be something there, though. So that is a potential second area that's developing as of right now. Potential another landspout there. Again, we've already had one ongoing as of right now. It seems like that has maybe lifted now. It is still warned again. It's still tornado warned storm. Again, seek shelter if you're still in this warning. May have another one, though, down here that's kind of off the storm. We'll have to wait and see. Rotation seems to be trying to strengthen down that direction. 10 days and you're free. What are you free from? I'm doing good, Joss. How about you? Oh, you said you're doing good. Never mind. Asking the same question twice. We might get a new warning on this one down here. We'll see. Little area of rotation. By the way, we do have 27 flash flood warnings ongoing across the United States, along with 6 severe thunderstorm warnings. Again, this is the tornado confirmed right now. Again, the rotation may have at least lifted on the cell back up here to the north. This one, though, may have something on the ground. Again, we don't have a new tornado warning yet. We may get one, though, here pretty shortly. And we'll keep you updated and posted with the latest on that. Seems like the velocities radar is completely glitched out, though, at least for that cell. So we'll watch it closely. Again, that one may also have a land spout on the ground right now, but no warning on that one quite yet. Let's see. Oh, I got you. I got you. Appreciate your service. For your service. Yeah, again, this warning currently includes, I'm pretty sure it's butane, right? Is that how you pronounce it? Might not be pronouncing that right, but that's mainly the only area included in terms of towns in this region. Other than that, we may have another land spout on the ground, but again, we're awaiting a new velocities update to try to confirm that. Again, that's the area of rotation. It's kind of on the cusp of the warning, so we may not get a new warning on it. We will see. The velocities, though, on the initial one that had rotation seems to have weakened, so that's what we're looking at as of right now. It's mostly now potential hail threat or maybe some downburst winds. Yeah, we also have a tornado warning up in Canada, by the way. The tornado warning is actually not overly far from the Nebraska border. It's far, but it's kind of like, you know, it's further off to the north. Yeah, this may, again, have another potential tornado on the ground. It looks like there's another land spout or tornado on the ground right now here. Again, if you look at the radar, that is where we probably have another tornado on the ground or a land spout of some sorts. It's probably a land spout. I'm going to start saying land spout more. That's probably where we have it as of right now. Oh, God, Jaws. Thank you, Erica, by the way, for subscribing. I appreciate it. Any of these storms related to tropical activity? These specifically up in North Dakota are not. The ones that are down in South Texas. So, just for reference. Ones in South Texas are tropical related. That is from that ongoing Invest 98L, which is no longer an Invest, but it's basically in Mexico now. That's the tropical low that has produced, 6 tornado warnings today. I don't know if any tornadoes actually did occur, but we had 6 up that direction, so. Category 5 membership hurricane. Oh, was that what we're officially calling it? I didn't think we had an official name for that yet. Next radar update, by the way, is going to be coming in, I believe, in a minute. Let's see. Yeah, it's going to be coming in about 30-45 seconds. So once we get that new update, we probably have a bit better of an idea if this is still on the ground. This may be a land spout right now in progress near 41. Again, this is not an area where we had a tornado potential tonight. It's more, land spouts, but... Any warnings in Texas or Oklahoma? Not Oklahoma. Maybe an isolated tornado warning in South Texas over the next 30 to 45 minutes. That threat, though, should be done after that. Thank you, Jaws, for becoming a VIP chaser. Hey, I appreciate that, Jaws, a lot. Thank you very much. Appreciate you becoming our 8th VIP chaser. Let's get some claps in the chat and tennis balls in the chat if you're a member. For Jaws becoming a member, or VIP member. Appreciate that a lot. Thank you. Our biggest supporter on the page. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you very much. All right, here's a look at the radar update, and yeah, we probably have something on the ground right now here. Let's look at the velocities. Again, yeah, this has to be a tornado, right? Let's go over the correlation coefficient. It's kind of hard to tell. Again, this is a storm that's off the actual storm, but there seems to be a tornado or a land spout on the ground right now here near 41. So there's probably still an ongoing tornado or land spout west of 41. Again, moving down to the southeast as of right now, or really slowly to the east. Thank you, Jaws, for the 10 gifted memberships. Hey, Jaws, I appreciate it a lot. Thank you. Make sure to thank Jaws, by the way, if you get a membership. Hey, I appreciate that a lot, Jaws. Appreciate your support. Thank you very much. Yeah, I would celebrate a bit more, but we have an ongoing, probably tornado still on the ground here west of 41. So we're going to primarily be focusing on that as of right now. This is currently, again, in North Dakota is where we're at. We do have an ongoing land spout / tornado on the ground. And moving to the east, going towards 41. I'm going to say 41 probably another 15 times, but that is where we do have an ongoing tornado on the ground. Yeah, it's not included in this warning, but that is definitely a ongoing tornado. Got that radar sight right now. Let's go back down to the one near Bismarck. I'll take a look and see. Okay, never mind. We won't. Gotta restart real quick. That's very strong rotation. It's definitely an ongoing tornado. Let's go to the Bismarck radar. We'll take a look and see. Rotation on the Bismarck radar, I believe, is a bit more updated, and it's not showing nearly as strong. This is the latest update at 6:34. That was actually about 4 minutes ago. So the one back up here is showing pretty tight rotation, though. West of 41. You can definitely, again, see it. It's definitely a land spout, and yeah, it's still ongoing. Very, very tight. That is 100% still a tornado ongoing. That's our latest radar update. Just came in. 100% still a tornado on the ground. It's just Butte. Oh, is it just Butte? Thank you, Jaws, again for the 10 gifted memberships and VIP Chaser. Really appreciate it. Appreciate your support. All right. Correlation coefficient's not going to show much. It's going to show a lot of blue because this is, again, where we have an ongoing tornado. It's well off the actual cell here. It's definitely a land spout here that's near 41. Again, here's a look at that rotation. It's extremely tight, and it is still ongoing. And tornado warning is actually not included in this little spot, but that is definitely where we have an ongoing land spout ongoing. Let's go over to this real quick. Do we have any footage or anything like that coming out of this? I don't know if we have anything up in North Dakota, Evan, but just let me know. I don't think we have much up here. Again, it's a pretty rural area. I don't know if there's any storm chasers in the area. Again, we had public that observed the Farts land spout. This is potentially the second one. It likely is the second one. I'm almost 100% certain that's on the ground. It's extremely tight. There's not a warning on this. The warning is just slightly outside of it, but it does seem to be an ongoing tornado here. Yeah, that's definitely a tornado or land spout ongoing here. Definitely a on the ground situation. Moving again very slowly to the east and southeast. Hey Rod, how you doing? Welcome back. Yeah, again, let's see what the next radar update's coming in. It should be coming in here in a moment. Again, we will be getting our next radar update here pretty shortly. But yeah, this is definitely a tornado on the ground. Yeah, you can just see it. I mean, once you go up a little bit higher up in the atmosphere, all throughout the atmosphere, you can just see how it's on the ground right now. With all the velocities, it's very tight. It's very defined. It is 100% on the ground. Again, moving very slowly, though. Definitely something to watch pretty closely. Again, that is where we have our ongoing land spout. All right. Update on the tornado warning in Canada. If you're talking about the one that's just off to the north of North Dakota, it didn't seem to have much rotation at this given time. If that's the one you're talking about, I think there's only one, right? Yeah, that one didn't seem to have a whole lot of rotation. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's broad. Again, stay in shelter if you're in that warning, but overall, it's not too crazy right now. All right, next radar update is going to be coming in here momentarily. We'll take a look and see if this tornado is still on the ground or not. Again, it is extremely tight, so it's definitely on the ground as of right now, just outside of this ongoing tornado warning. Hearts, I am too. I haven't eaten dinner yet. I was actually going to get off to go eat dinner, but we have an ongoing tornado, so watch this still very closely. Yeah, but this is still on the ground for sure. And moving fairly slowly. But we're going to await our next update. Here's the latest radar update. I believe it's going to come in on the 0.3 degree angle. And yeah, this is still on the ground. It's at least been on the ground for the last 6 or 7 minutes. Maybe even a little bit longer than that. Again, near 41 is where we have that ongoing threat. So, and that is still on the ground. It's moving close to 41. If you're along 41... just make sure you're, again, taking it safe on the roadways. Don't, park and trying to get an IT on the storm or whatnot. Because, again, it's a very dangerous cell. Here's a look at the correlation coefficient. And, again, the correlation coefficient's actually picking this up pretty well, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's picking up pretty well right now. We're looking at it right now. Thank you, Jaws, for the $20 super chat as well. I appreciate that. The tennis ball launcher. Tennis ball launchers, I actually looked it up. It's like $100 or something crazy. At least for like an automated one. Yes, appreciate your report. This is currently in North Dakota. All right, yeah, tornado is still on the ground here. We do have a photo coming in. I don't know if I can show it, but we do have a photo coming in. Take a look. Yeah, tornado's on the ground. It's a nice funnel. I'll kind of draw it out for you. I'll probably retweet it on Twitter here in a second. It's kind of like a nice little funnel like this, and then you kind of see the debris on the ground. That's kind of what we're looking at. Hard to show by a picture, but yeah, then we definitely have a tornado on the ground right here. This is a look at the reflectivity. Yeah, again, very defined here. Definitely a tornado on the ground still. Am I able to show that? Oh wait, that's Slippy. Never mind. Slippy, Evan, am I able to show that? The one in general chat, or I have to retweet it. The Weather Channel isn't covering the storm. I don't know, man. The Weather Channel has their own schedule. It's like if I wasn't live one day for, you know, a severe weather event. I have my own schedule too. I think everybody has their own schedule, but yeah, again, this is definitely a pretty defined storm. And again, tornado is definitely on the ground still. We have very tight rotation. It's been on the ground probably for at least 8 or 9 minutes, maybe a little bit longer than that, but close to here. Okay. Yeah, definitely a tornado on the ground right now. I'm going to go over to Twitter, at least retweet this. Again, if you want to check out the photo of the tornado on the ground, this is likely the one that we're looking at, I'm pretty sure. Oh, yeah, this actually I can show. This is from the Turtle Lake camera. Here's a look at the tornado. I don't know if I can show it to the right degree. Yeah, you can see. Okay, so this is where our tornado is. This is from a live cam. That is your tornado. It's kind of hard to see, but that is your funnel. It's very defined, by the way. And that is the dirt and whatnot being kicked up in the air. So that is definitely a tornado on the ground here. That is what we're looking at right now. Again, west of 41 is where we're at right now in terms of the storm. I showed that anyways, Evan, but if you want, yeah, you can. I'm pretty sure that's just a cam. Big deal. Yeah, this is definitely a tornado on the ground. Wonder why nobody's seeing it. People are probably seeing it. It's just the only thing is it's a pretty rural area that we're in. But yeah, the debris is definitely there. You can see this is where your debris is. It's all blue. Obviously, there's a tornado here on the ground. But yeah, we'll get our next radar update here probably in about 2 or 3 minutes. So stay tuned. By the way, if my power does go out, hopefully it doesn't. But if my stream ends abruptly, my power goes out. Just for reference. There's a lot of lightning right now in my area. Tornadoes are going really bad. Yeah, this is a pretty extreme tornado. I mean, it's not probably anything beyond like a EF1 or something like that, but it is a pretty decent looking tornado for sure. I don't know if you guys hear the dogs barking, by the way. It's to do with the thunder. Negative 60.4. Yeah, it's probably at least an EF. I would say probably, I mean, if I was to grade it right now, obviously you really can't grade it beforehand, but it's probably around an EF1 by the looks of it. All right, we do have a brand new tornado warning that is associated with the storm that is going down to the south now. And again, this is the area where we've had a very well-defined confirmed tornado here near 41. And brand new tornado warning has been issued along with this. The storm back up here, the rotation weakened pretty quickly. This one's been alive though for several minutes now. And this is the latest radar update. Tornado is definitely still on the ground here near 41. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely still on the ground. Hey, Shelly, how you doing? Welcome back. Yeah, tornado warning took a while to get reissued here, but yeah, there's definitely still a tornado on the ground here. Take a look and see if we have any cameras in this area. Don't think we do, but yeah, this is again the ongoing tornado that we do still have on the ground. Again, it's in North Dakota, but this one's been on the ground for around 10 minutes now. It's definitely still on the ground here. You can still see it's not nearly as pronounced as the last scan. It is still very tight though, so we still probably have some sort of landspout or tornado here ongoing with this cell as it moves down to the southeast. Again, it's not moving overly fast. It will get pretty close to 41, which I do think there's a little bit more people that live here along 41, so definitely not a good scenario for those people. Hopefully this does lift up before it gets there, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. And here's a look at the correlation coefficient and the live radar. Again, it's kind of on this little hook on the back end of the storm as of right now. Again, tornado is on the ground, what we know. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but it might. Never know. Thunderstorms are unpredictable. Lightning is more unpredictable than anything. Yeah, this tornado is definitely still on the ground. This has been on the ground again for several minutes. This has been on the ground since, let's see. I'm going to give you a bit of an estimate here. It's been on the ground since about 6:31. So it's been on the ground for around 16 minutes or so. It may have lifted up in between scans, but... yeah, again, this has been on the ground for almost a really long time at this point. It's still on the ground. And moving to the southeast very slowly. It should be approaching 41 here in a few moments. I'm going to take a look and see if we have any new photos or videos or anything like that coming in. Yeah, so near Turtle Lake is where this ongoing tornado is on the ground, by the way. So it's near Turtle Lake, apparently. Oh, yeah, there was actually two, by the way. There was two tornadoes on the ground. There was two. I'll retweet it on our Twitter. Again, two tornadoes on the ground. From early. It was about 10 minutes ago that we had two tornadoes on the ground. Go ahead and post this real quick. Here we go. So yeah, again, if you want to check that out, our Twitter has the latest photos on that. There was actually two tornadoes on the ground at the same exact time. So we have another photo coming in, by the way, of the tornado. This is a better photo of it. You can see it here. That is the tornado. Kind of on the right side of your screen here. So yeah, definitely a tornado here. Again, from the Turtle Lake camera here. And this is pretty much moving that direction. So definitely have a tornado on the ground still with this storm. And the latest from what we have is now it has dissipated for the time being. So this specific landspout or tornado has dissipated from the latest at 5:48. So again, this has been on the ground for about 16 minutes or so. It seems as if it might have lifted now. The latest camera view is showing as lifted. So that would be good news if it did. Let me go and show you guys what it looks like now. So this is a look at it. Looks to be have dissipated a bit here on the latest scan. It's good news. But again, that's where we have our ongoing rotation. Again, it's right there heading toward 41. But it's still ongoing. Again, stay in shelter. It might actually drop again. So that's kind of what we have to watch for as well. Again, the first landspout lasted maybe a couple of minutes. This one lasted almost 16 minutes. They were all basically within about, 5 miles of each other. They were very close, so... And we do have two tornado warnings ongoing here. Let me go over to the warning count. Again, these are our two tornado warnings that we have ongoing. We have 4 severe thunderstorm warnings outside of this, so definitely a lower end amount of severe weather that we have outside of this as of right now. Let me hop over to the reflective or the velocities. This is the latest update. We'll get it on in just a second on this cell. That again has a tornado on the ground for the time being, and this is a look at it in the latest scan. So it's definitely shrinking. It's definitely weakening a bit, which is good news. Again, watch it closely to see if it continues, but it does seem like it's probably starting to weaken a little bit. Again, from what we saw in photos, obviously it's definitely fizzled out a little bit, but again, it very well could redevelop at some point. Yeah, definitely impressive storm as of right now. The other tornado warning I do believe may have been canceled. No, it's still ongoing. So the other tornado warning is still ongoing. Obviously, the one up here closer to Butte is not really as pronounced. There's nothing really rotating up there. This is where our rotation is as of right now. And you can still see it. There's probably at least some sort of funnel. There may still be a tornado on the ground here, but it did seem to be weakening, at least from what we saw in photos. Also near Russo, North Dakota at 5:46 p.m. That may be in Central Time, so about 6 minutes ago maybe. There was a tornado on the ground there. That may have been, though, I'm not 100% sure. That seems like it was probably the same tornado that we're looking at. Let me take a look where Russo, Nebraska is. It's at 5:46. That was 5 minutes ago in Central Time, if that's where it is. This. Russo is right along 41. So yeah, that's what we're looking at, I think. Yeah, that's north. So yeah, basically this is again the storm that we've had a few tornadoes now confirmed with. So there was a tornado that was confirmed. Again, we've already had 2 now, but that's probably the one that we're looking at. So yeah, we had another photo coming in of the tornado. Hey, Level, how you doing? Welcome back. This tornado again is currently on the ground in North Dakota. If you're just tuning in. Yeah, this is near Turtle Lake is where we're at as of right now. Again, we've had several confirmations of this tornado. So I mean, it's actually been photo documented at this point a few times as well. The tornado was likely on the ground for around 16 minutes. If it's still on the ground, it might be longer. Again, if you want to take a look at those photos, they're on our Twitter. I'll pull them up again. Probably in a minute, but... another image of the tornado just came in clear, or just came in, I mean... It's unclear if there was debris being lofted up into the atmosphere, but it seems like at least the tornado seems to be on the ground. That was a few minutes ago as well. So yeah, there was again 2 tornadoes on the ground at one point, literally at the exact same time, and they were both basically next to each other. It was pretty impressive. It was a sight to see. Yeah, this seems to be the best picture that we've had from this live cam feed that we have near Turtle Lake. You can see it right here on the right side of your screen. That is the tornado that we've been talking about. There's another one as well. The tornado, the other one did seem to, kind of fizzle out. But that was the one tornado that we had. Again, a lot of farmland around here, but that is the one that is still rotating here. Again, there may still be something on the ground. It's not 100% clear, but it seems like it may have lifted up. But we'll keep you updated if anything does develop here. Pretty impressive, though. North Dakota does see this a lot more during the summer, too. No, this is not an EF5 tornado by any means. This is nowhere near that. If anything, this may have been at a peak around an EF1 or EF2, but it's probably nothing beyond that. I think it was probably just an EF1 tornado. The winds on radar were probably right around 100 at the most. So that's what I'm thinking. But obviously, it might still be on the ground. It's still a little bit unclear. Again, it may have lifted. We're going to get our next radar update here in a second. We'll see what happens from there. But yeah, here's a report, by the way, of the tornado. We had a confirmation back up here near Russo. Public report of a tornado touchdown, so that was obviously clear there. And that was, I believe, the storm that was a little bit more along 41 here. But also back over here, we've had several photos. I mean, it's definitely confirmed that we've had a tornado here that's possibly been on the ground for as long as 15 minutes. So it was on the ground for a good amount of time. And it might still be on the ground. It's again, we'll get another radar update here in a second. We'll see if it's still on the ground or not. Thank you, Jaws, for gifting another membership, by the way. Appreciate it, Jaws. Thank you. Jaws, I believe, is up to 186 total gifted memberships. He's only 14 away from 200. That's insane. Jaws has gifted the most memberships on the channel. No, it's not a Joplin tornado by any means. No. Nowhere close to it. We don't have the setup for that anyways, if we were even to get close to that. Yeah, definitely not there. All right, let me go over to the latest radar update just came in. Let's go down to the lower levels. And it looks like it's fizzled out. So good news, it looks like this tornado is likely lifted. We'll take a look at the 0.5 degree angle as well, see if there's any rotation, maybe slightly higher up, but we're looking at as of right now. Again, this tornado's been on the ground for maybe as long as 15 minutes. I've mentioned it a few times, but if you're just tuning in, that's kind of what we've been looking at here in terms of, rotation and whatnot. And obviously, it's been on the ground for a while. Kid, you're not even a member, so no, thanks. Thank you, Jaws, for another gifted membership, by the way. Appreciate it. Thank you. Jaws with another one. Appreciate it, Jaws. Thank you. All right, let's go back over to the 0.5 degree angle. Again, that is where we have our rotation. It's definitely weakened. We'll watch to see if it does increase a little bit in the next couple of scans at all, but it does seem like it's probably weakening out a good amount here. But again, this tornado was on the ground for a while. Thank you, Gabe, for the $1 super chat, by the way. Appreciate it. Thank you. Hey, Level got one. Congratulations. Level's been here for a while. All right, let me just go over to this. Again, this is a photo. I'm going to show it again. This was the photo that we had, again, of the tornado on the ground. And this is, again, on the ground for around 15 to 16 minutes. So it was on the ground for a while. That is the tornado, again, at Turtle Lake. So, just for reference, again, that's what we were looking at from earlier. It's been on the ground for a while. By the way, if you're just tuning in for the first time, hit the subscribe button down below. We are 39 subscribers from 15,900. I would appreciate if you hit the subscribe button. Yeah, that's again, the North Dakota Agricultural Weather Network. Yeah, the educational thing there. That was where we got that out of. Pretty impressive, to say the least. Just like Merry Christmas. Jaws with the 5 gifted, by the way. Appreciate it. I think that's 5. Appreciate it. Thank Matt for the $1 super chat as well. Appreciate it. Thank you for your support. Yeah, I think Jaws is right now, if I'm not mistaken, around 10 members from 200. I think it's 10. Apparently the funnel cloud is now reforming, by the way. So, just for an update, there's now a funnel cloud reforming with this storm. Thank you, Matt, again, for another $1 super chat. Thank you for another one. I appreciate it. But yeah, that seems like what we have ongoing. Again, a funnel cloud is now redeveloping with this. So, again, that's where our area of rotation is. That is the same exact area that we've been watching for the last several minutes. That is our latest update. We do have now a funnel cloud redeveloping here. That is what's coming in from the live cam. Let me just go over to this real quick. All right. Let me take a look at the Storm Prediction Center real quick. Again, we do have a mesoscale discussion for this area. Again, a couple land spouts may be possible. We've already seen 2 tornadoes, so we might see another one. A funnel cloud, again, was redeveloping here near 41. That's our latest update here. Thanks, Scott. I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you, Jaws, for another 10 gifted memberships. Man, Jaws, you're going insane. Appreciate your support a lot, Jaws, again, for the 10 gifted members. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Give some claps in the chat, and again, tennis ball emojis if you're a subscriber, or member, I should say. For Jaws, that's now 200 total gifted memberships on our YouTube page. That's insane. Appreciate the support a lot. Again, Jaws being very generous here. Really appreciate the gifted memberships. Thank you, thank you. Go insane now. You don't have to go insane. I appreciate your support. Don't have to go insane at all. I do appreciate it. All right, let's go back over. Again, we do have an ongoing funnel cloud here that is now redeveloping. Again, currently moving off to the east, going towards 41. And that's what we're looking at as of right now. Again, we're going to keep you updated. I'm watching the camera right now, but yeah, no new updates quite yet on the... Let me take a look again. Yeah, from our latest update, we do have a funnel cloud trying to redevelop, but... Again, it dissipated about 10 minutes ago. It's now redeveloping the last couple of minutes, and that's the area of rotation that we're looking at. Again, we had an ongoing tornado here for a while, and we very well may have a new tornado trying to develop here. Back over to this. New radar updates coming in right now. This is the latest scan. Nothing really organized at the surface. Again, where we do have something going on, though, is a little bit higher up. We do have an ongoing little area of rotation, so I'll have to watch that pretty closely. Hey, thank you, Gabe, for the $2 super chat. I appreciate it. Jaws doesn't have to go crazy unless he wants to, but again, no need to if you don't want to. Thank you, Sparkles. Yeah, I've seen a few photos. Thank you. Can't show a lot of those, but I do appreciate you. Let me know. Yeah, again, we'll watch it closely. We've had a few coming in from the Turtle Lake camera. Yeah, and our latest update was a funnel cloud reforming. And okay, so the second tornado did circulation on the ground for a time, apparently. Our latest update, okay, so there may have been a tornado again briefly with this. It seems as if, though, it has now dissipated again. Just for reference. So this is a look at the storm again that's currently ongoing with the tornado warning. We also, the other tornado warning has expired, so that's just for reference. But that is our latest update. Again, this cell likely producing some quarter-sized hail, but it seems like that might have lifted for the time being. Which is good news. Thank you, Matt, again, for the $1 super chat. Appreciate it. Jaws, Merry Christmas. Yeah, again, we'll watch this very closely. Again, moving down right now to the south and southeast. And by the way, if you're just curious about any of the other severe weather that we have ongoing, we do have 5 warnings outside of this for severe thunderstorm warnings. I don't think there's really a whole lot of those in... I think they're probably down in the Carolinas. We do have actually one ongoing in Texas. It's kind of near the Texas border as well as the Texas-Mexico border. There's also 4 ongoing in the southeast. We have 2 in Florida, and we have 1 in Georgia and 1 in South Carolina. Beyond that, there's no other warnings. This is our 1 tornado warning that we have ongoing. So we're going to keep you updated with the latest on this more than anything right now. But if anything does obviously appear, we'll keep you updated with those as well. Let's go back over to this, though, to the tornado warning there. So yeah, this is a look at is right now. Again, rotation is brought in a little bit on the latest scans. Again, this very well could redevelop at any time. We've seen now 2 total tornadoes with this, actually possibly a 3rd one, and within only about 20 to 30 minutes. So what's in Georgia? Just 1 cell. Let me take a look. I think it's south of Atlanta, west of Macon, if I'm saying that name right. It's kind of south of Hannah's Mill, and near Junction City. That's where it is as of right now. Order yourself McDonald's. No, I'm not gonna get McDonald's. I don't really eat McDonald's to begin with. Let's see. Is there another tornado forming with this again? Go back to the Twitter here. We have a live cam view kind of coming in. It's been in and out though. Yeah, again, there may be another area of circulation trying to redevelop with this again. So this 1 cell has been causing a lot of havoc so far. But there may be another area of rotation trying to develop again with this. So, kind of crazy. This system's been going for a while. A tornado warning in North Carolina. Okay, we have a brand new tornado warning in North Carolina. I don't see it yet. Is it? I do have another radar thing updating warnings. Saying tornado warning in North Carolina. Let me figure out where this is at. All right, I got the tornado warning is actually down here. This is near where? This is near Lumberton. Okay, it's down here. This is probably what we're looking at. So we do have a brand new tornado warning over in North Carolina. Seek shelter immediately away from windows, lowest floor possible. It is this. So that's west of Clarkton. That is where we have a brand new tornado warning that is ongoing. It's not showing up on my feed yet, but this is where our brand new tornado warning is. Again, moving currently down to the southeast. Our area of rotation is currently here. Again, a brand new tornado warning has been issued for North Carolina. This one is not specifically on the ground, but this is an ongoing tornado warning. There we go. That's your tornado warning. So, again, brand new tornado warning now in South Carolina. So yeah, again, another tornado warning was just issued. This is for Clarkton, Bladenboro, as well as anywhere down to the south of that near Whiteville, Chadbourne. Those areas all included. Again, a brand new tornado warning. Seek shelter immediately away from windows and lowest floor possible. Again, this is now our 2nd tornado warning right now on the map. 1 again up in North Dakota, and as well as 1 now down in North Carolina. We got, again, 2 tornado warnings ongoing. The 1 currently up in North Dakota, the rotation does not seem to have been increasing in the last few minutes, but we'll watch it closely again. If there's any new information there, we'll keep you updated. But this is, again, another tornado warning now in North Carolina. All right, let me go back over to, let's go over to the velocities again. Yeah, you can again see there's actually a couple of areas of rotation. We got 1 back here and we got 1 here. Again, 2 different areas here that are currently rotating near Bladenboro. Again, 2 tornado warnings. We got 1 in North Carolina and 1 again up in North Dakota. This is our brand new one that was just issued 3 minutes ago. So again, moving down to the south and southeast is where it's going as of right now. Again, Whiteville and Clarkton will be in the track of this. It's gonna be going toward Highway 74 over the next several minutes. So again, brand new update on this tornado warning. Stay safe, Dawn. Stay safe. Now, a lot of storms still in North Carolina. Again, not a whole lot are severe, but yes, this is the North Carolina storm. Yes. Let me remove the tornado on the ground thing from my thing here real quick. I gotta make my own little slide for when a tornado's on the ground, but fix that real quick. Again, if you're just tuning in, this is the North Carolina tornado warning. This is not the one in North Dakota. We are currently on the one in North Carolina. All right, there we go. Fixed it. There we go. And shift this back over. Yeah, the rotation is currently centered near Bladenboro and as well as just to the north of Clarkton. Again, this is moving down to the southeast as of right now. Let's go back over to the velocities. And the latest scan showing a little bit of rotation maybe back over here. It seems to be a bit broader there. There was a little bit more rotation here a moment ago. That seems to have gone away. The rotation now seems to be shifting its focus back up just to the west of Highway 701. That's the latest update on this ongoing tornado warning. So that's what we're looking at right now with this storm. So again, a little bit of area of rotation there, moving down to the southeast. Yeah, I know, right, Justin? I'm starving right now. Thank you, Gabe. Yeah, so the tornado warning is still going to go for North Dakota, which makes sense. There's been a good amount of rotation on that. Very well could redevelop at any point. And moving down currently to the southeast. All right, let's go back over to the velocities here. We'll take a look. And that is our area of rotation as of right now. That is, again, near 242 and 701. Again, that'll be going towards Clarkton over the next several minutes. By the way, this is basically on the edge of the severe thunderstorm watch. So, again, there's a possibility for an isolated tornado or two. This could be one of those situations here in the Carolinas tonight. So that's what we're looking at as of right now at this cell. This back to the velocities. Again, area of rotation right now back up near 242. Moving down to the southeast. Right about here. That's where really our area of rotation is right now. That sounds good, Gabe. Sounds pretty good. Put over here. Back to the chat. All right. I do a cooking stream? No, I'm not done. I can't even cook to begin with. All right, let's go over to the warning. So as of right now, again, 2 tornado warnings, one up in North Dakota. We're covering the one in North Carolina. That's where we're at as of right now. Again, the other one is still ongoing in North Dakota. I will be watching that one again pretty closely as it moves down to the south. There's a little bit of rotation still ongoing with that, so we'll still watch that one closely. But the new one, again, is in North Carolina. This is in a bit more of a populated area. Southwest of Elizabethtown, by the way. And also off to the north of Whiteville is where we're at as of right now. Thank you, Sparkle. So take a look here in a second. Yeah, but there's been a lot of photos coming out of the North Dakota storms. Yes, Bob, I do hurricane coverage. Yep. Sure do. Right, 1 second. All right, let's go back over to the velocities. I'm going to pull these up for right now. We'll go back over to the velocities. Again, this is where our area of rotation is. It's not strong at this given time. It's not tight. It's not to the point where we have a tornado on the ground. But again, it could develop at any time as that moves towards Clarkton. It is going to be going toward Highway 701 here in a moment as well. So what we're looking at is right now. All right. All right, so as of right now, I'm going to put a track on this so we can get an idea of where the setting. This is a look at the live radar. We're going to pull up the live radar, give a track on this, kind of give you an idea of where the setting over the next several minutes. This is going about 20 miles per hour, by the way. So it's not moving overly fast, but it is going at a decent speed. So this is the timing for your location, potentially, and if you're in North Carolina. So Clarkton, 719, Whiteville, right around 744, as well as Bolton, 807, and Chalette, right around 905. Again, that's your timing on this ongoing tornado warning cell. Again, rotation is just off to the east of Bladenboro. These areas are included in the warning, so don't stay in shelter if you're not even in the track. If you're in the track of this, just make sure you're getting ready. But if you're in the tornado warning, stay in shelter, even if I didn't put you in the track. That's where it's heading as of right now. It's going south and south-southeast, so that's where we're looking as of right now. Again, Chadbourne, for example, stay in shelter. If you're anywhere near Highway 74 or just off to the north of that right now, stay in shelter as well. That's what we have going as of right now. Again, down to the south. All right. We're currently looking at North Carolina. Again, that's where we have our ongoing tornado warning. We do have another one in North Dakota. Again, that one has produced a tornado for a elongated amount of time, but is now no longer on the ground. But we'll still watch that one closely. The tornado warning is still ongoing for right now. All right, here's a look at the latest radar update. So yeah, the storm really going toward Clarkton right now. If you're in Clarkton, again, get to your safe place right now. That is really where this storm seems to be heading towards more primarily right now. This is a look at the latest radar or velocities update. We'll get it here in just a moment. But the ongoing rotation is pretty much, let's go back over to this. There we go. So yeah, the velocities right now are most prominent here again near Clarkton. As again, pretty close to Highway 701. Going down to the south and southeast as of right now. So again, seek shelter, stay away from windows, lowest floor possible if you're included in this tornado warning. Again, heading towards 701. And Jaws with the 50 gifted memberships. Oh my goodness. Jaws now with 250 gifted members on this page. Man, you're going insane. I appreciate your support. Let's get some claps in the chat again for Jaws, who is just going crazy again tonight. I really do appreciate the support. Thank you very much. You got a membership, by the way, from Jaws tonight. Make sure to thank him in the chat. It's very generous of him. I really do appreciate the support. Yeah, I'd react a bit more, but we're again in the middle of a tornado warning, but I do appreciate it a lot. Thank you very much. Really do appreciate your support. With 50 gifted memberships again. Hey Tracy, how you doing? Welcome back. Some claps in the chat again for him, as well as if you got a membership, by the way, make sure to thank him. I'll take a look at North Dakota. Let's see. The rotation on the North Dakota storm isn't overly impressive right now. It's mostly just wind. Again, it could redevelop though. Again, I'll keep an eye on it. And the storm right now near 701. This is the one again in North Carolina that we're looking at. Those that might be in North Carolina right now. Josh, your memberships are important. That helps me out a lot. Appreciate it. Let's go back over to... Hey, Evan, do you have anything on this storm, by the way, in North Carolina? Just curious. I don't know if you had anything on this storm yet. I believe for the time being, the tornado warning up in North Dakota has expired. There might be a reassurance of it. We'll see. So for right now, I'm not going to take the number off for now. Seems like we may have another brief land spout on the ground. Potentially near north of Turtle Lake, but could be mistaken. I appreciate it, Joss. Again, I appreciate your support. Any amount is really greatly appreciated, and I really do appreciate it. Funnel cloud was reported in North Dakota as of 2 minutes ago. It did look like there's a little bit of rotation up there, so we'll watch that pretty closely. I'm doing better, Alan. Thanks for asking. Yeah, I've been doing better for about a week now. I haven't really been live, so I really haven't been able to say much about it. But yeah, I'm doing better. Appreciate you asking. We may get a new tornado warning on that one in North Dakota. Again, there may be a funnel cloud right now. From what we know, there was some sort of potential land spout again on the ground there north of Turtle Lake. Looked like we had a tight rotation again for a brief moment there, so watch it closely. Switch matrix to what? We actually have a time lapse of that tornado, by the way. I'll probably upload that at some point. All right. All right, back. All right, sorry about that. Where's the time lapse? I'll retweet it on Twitter here in a minute. Yeah, we have a time lapse of that tornado from earlier. And it seems like we have another little funnel trying to develop on this storm, as I said before, over in North Dakota. Kind of hard to say, though. It doesn't look like much of a funnel. It looks like a bit more of a scud, but with how the environment's been going here in Turtle Lake and really anywhere in North Dakota so far with that one cell, definitely can't rule out that we have a tornado there coming back. Another cell to watch pretty closely. All right, here's back over to the live radar. This is look, guys, right now. All right, I have to go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be back in a minute. I know it's in the middle of the tornado warning, but I have to. I'll be right back, guys. Hold on. All right, apologies about that. I'm back. All right, cool. All right, so as I mentioned before, we are currently on the tornado warning in North Carolina. We do not have one anymore in Nebraska. It seems like that rotation has fizzled out as of right now. We're going to keep you updated if it does re-strengthen at all, but it does seem like it's fizzled out for right now. Yeah, it could redevelop at any time, though. All right, let me go over to... We'll go back to the velocities here in a second on this storm. We're going to hop over and make sure this warning counts change. So as of right now, we have 1 tornado warning, 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. Listen to this. We have 31 flash flood warnings. That is a lot. And a lot of those, again, are in Colorado, really anywhere in the Southwest. But as of right now, the rotation, as I mentioned before, has kind of fizzled out for the most part in North Carolina. Or excuse me, not North Carolina, North Dakota. The one in North Carolina, though, is kind of a different story. We still have some rotation here. It's primarily near Clarkton. Moving down to the southeast, again, this is the storm that is tornado warned as of right now. Again, it'll be going toward Whiteville as well as anywhere near Lake Waccamaw, saying that right. It's going to be going down that direction, and that's the main storm I believe that we have rotating as of right now. I don't think we have any other storms rotating outside of this for right now, at least in North Carolina and really anywhere in the Carolinas right now. So that's what we're looking at as of right now. Hey, have a great night, by the way, Gabe. Appreciate you stopping by. Scott, thank you. We do not cover Canada weather currently. I do appreciate you letting me know. Yeah, that's up near Winnipeg. But I don't think any of these tornadoes are even on the ground right now. I think it's just rotation. Hey, Sarah, how you doing? Welcome back. Yeah, this is the storm in North Carolina. It is currently, again, tornado warned. Let's go back over to the velocities. Let me go over to this. The velocities. Again, there's a little bit of rotation here near Clarkton as well. That is probably our main area. It's again broad as of right now, but that is where we have some rotation. So main area as of right now seems to be near Clarkton. Yeah, it's moving down to the southeast. No problem, Scott. No problem at all. I'm just saying we don't really cover Canada weather right now. Maybe in the future, though. We'll see. We will see. I have a lot of people asking me about that, but as of right now, it's mostly just United States stuff. But we do cover stuff that does come out of Canada, which, you know, obviously like low pressure systems and even a tornado warning. If that storm does come out of Canada and it eventually goes into the United States, we'll watch it. That would be going into extreme northern North Dakota, though. It is pretty slow moving too, so we'll see what happens. And this tornado warning will be ongoing for another 8 minutes. It might get reissued too, we'll see. The warning's been ongoing for approximately 20 minutes now, and it hasn't moved a whole lot. It's not been moving overly fast, so definitely very well could see maybe a new tornado warning if it continues to rotate beyond what it is as of right now, but we'll see. By the way, if you guys are in the chat right now, you don't have a membership, make sure you have enabled memberships, because I believe not everybody's received a membership yet from the 50 gifted that we got. So if you guys want to be a member here on our YouTube channel, get exclusive access to bloopers and stuff like that, make sure you have gifted memberships turned on so you can get a gifted membership, because we still have people that are getting memberships right now. So, for example, Arts, you might not have that enabled. I'm not sure how you enable it. You have to probably look up on Google. I don't 100% know how you do it, but it usually shows a message in the chat. If not, you might be able to go in settings and do it. Is South Carolina okay? Yeah, for the most part, you're not seeing anything severe. It's mostly just a couple of strong storms, but right now, nothing severe. Again, the really only warning that we have in this area is this tornado warning, which again is for Clarkton. So this has definitely been the worst cell so far in North Carolina. Obviously, the severe thunderstorm warnings from earlier were pretty bad too. Those produced some pretty significant damaging winds and whatnot as well. Hey Max, how you doing? Welcome back. Yeah, Josh, I think it's because people have the gifting memberships thing enabled. Let's see. Again, we have 1 tornado warning, 2 severe thunderstorm warnings, 33 flash flood warnings now, and 2 special marine warnings. We do have wind damage, by the way, coming out of Boaz. This is from the storm over in, where was this again? Downtown Boaz. This, I think, was in North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, this is Alabama. We had some wind damage. It was mostly like a roof ripped off or something like that here. Yeah, you can see it. That's a better view. So a metal roof was kind of ripped off, unfortunately, there in Alabama. That was from the damaging windstorm that went through that area earlier. It was sent in by Paige Odin, by the way, on Twitter. Thank you, Sarah, by the way, for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. There's kind of a membership thing. If you become a hurricane or a VIP chaser, it's more pronounced. But yeah, I'll have to fix that. It doesn't really play as much as it should. All right, let's go back to the velocities. As of right now, I don't think this has been canceled, right? I think this has been canceled. No, we don't implement any live stream footage into bloopers. Take too much time. As of right now, again, this tornado warning is still ongoing, has not been canceled. It goes for another 5 minutes. Again, Clarkson is currently over it as of right now. And it'll be going toward Whiteville. Yeah, as of right now, again, tornado warning still ongoing for another 5 minutes. We will see if there's a new tornado warning on this, but as of now, the rotation, again, not strong. It's still broad, but it definitely could strengthen at any time. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a severe thunderstorm warning, maybe. Or some sort of tornado possible label on that, but we'll see what happens. The memberships just came through. Pretty interesting cloud base, by the way, over in Latta, South Carolina. So again, the storms over in South Carolina, they're not really severe, but they're more of just strong storms, if anything. They are pretty impressive looking cells, though. Let's look at the cell, by the way. The latest radar update just came in. We'll take a look at the velocities as well. And it seems to be broad rotation. I don't think we'll see a new tornado warning as of right now. We may get a severe thunderstorm warning, though. Again, that decision will probably be made within the next couple of minutes. We'll probably get a new warning of some sorts on this, but we'll see what happens. Potential developments of these systems over the next couple of days. Honestly, there's not going to be much. It's going to be very low-end threats to severe weather. Even today was actually a low-end threat. It's only, we had a small slight risk outside of that. It's mostly just marginal threats. It just covers a lot of area. So the overall potential for severe weather will not be that high, really, at all over the next several days. It's going to be pretty low. So I'm not expecting a whole lot beyond what we've already seen. Obviously, we'll see some, isolated damaging winds, maybe some isolated large hail, maybe a brief tornado as well over the next 48 hours, but that's kind of what we're looking at as of right now. Sounds good, Evan. Thinking the same way, too. Bottom left corner is going to be going for a bit. Oh, you mean the Southwest United States? Yeah, that's been insane. The Southwest has just been absolutely insane in terms of the monsoon. Obviously, it happens all the time, but it is pretty impressive what we're seeing down that direction. Storm near Syracuse. We're talking about Syracuse, New York? Because Syracuse isn't seeing at least any severe weather. Can't rule out there's a storm, though, up there. Yeah, so tornado warning did end in North Dakota. It has not been reissued. I believe the rotation, for the most part, has kind of fizzled out on that one, so... Cape in the Midwest is 200s. There's not really any system, I don't think, even out there right now. I'll take a look at the instability. There might be a lot of instability, but there needs to be something to initiate the storms. And if there's not something to initiate them, they're not going to develop. I mean, there has to be like some sort of factor, like a cold front, an outflow boundary, something along those lines is needed. You could have, 10,000 instability or 10,000 joules per kilogram, whatever you want to call it, and have storms. I'm not seeing any instability, though, in the Midwest. Values are like under 500 for the most part. The highest values I'm seeing, at least right now, is like around 600 to 700 up there. So it isn't a whole lot, doesn't seem like. I don't see anything above that. But yeah, beyond that, I mean, it's not really anything seems like that crazy. It just seems like pretty low values right now. But you could have an instability. I mean, you could have instability as high as 2,000 to 3,000 joules per kilogram, and you might not see anything because there's nothing to like initiate the storms. Again, outflow boundaries, warm fronts, cold fronts, those sort of things help to initiate stuff. I just posted the Twitter link in the chat, by the way. Nightbot will post it. It's also linked in the description below, so go to either of those. Josh, I just don't think enough people in the stream have it enabled. Might be why. All right, this tornado warning is going to expire. I don't think we'll get a new one. We'll watch it for another few minutes to see if there is a new one. Let's hop back over into... We do have a warning over in Georgia, and I believe we have another warning in Colorado, or maybe Arizona. I'm not sure where this other warning is. But let's go over into the north here real quick. By the way, we have a lot of tornado reports coming in back in North Dakota. As I mentioned before, several reports of tornadoes. We obviously saw those here on stream, and we saw plenty of photos of those. But the tornado warning back up in Canada, we have a few of them. I'm not sure if we can really see them. They're back up here near Winnipeg. Will they reach the United States? Will they reach, North Dakota? Possibly. These are the couple of storms. It's hard to see from this angle, but you can see it here. That's where the storms are, near Winnipeg. So those are moving down to the south. They very well might reach North Dakota, but I think it's pretty low at this point if we'll see them. So that's what we're looking at as of right now. Beyond that, though, the only cell that had produced those tornadoes is weakening, which is good news. The other cell as well near center, that's potentially developing. That may develop into something to watch as well pretty closely. Beyond that, I think we only have 2 warnings. Let me take a look where those are real quick. We have, again, one in Georgia. And we have one somewhere else. But the warning that we have in Georgia as of right now is near Butler. Again, 60-mile-per-hour winds is the main threat here. That's about it for right now. Beyond that, we have another severe thunderstorm warning that I cannot seem to find. Oh, that's down in Texas. This is near... I don't even know how to say the name, but it's basically near the Texas A&M area, it seems like. There's some sort of Texas A&M down here. I don't know if that's the actual college, but down here near Rio Bravo. We'll go with that. This is producing 60-mile-per-hour winds. This actually does have a tornado possible on it, and this is currently moving over to the north very slowly. Take a look at the velocities real quick, see if there's anything to be noted here. But if there isn't, we'll probably go ahead and end the live stream there, but we'll look at it. Yeah, I'm not seeing a whole lot. Not a lot of rotation, but it's mostly going to probably be damaging winds, if anything. So that's what we got going as of right now over this direction. And that's moving fairly slowly off to the north. Thanks, Shisha. Appreciate it. That's been a good stream. This is the first stream that we've had over an hour in about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. It's been a while. We haven't done a long live stream like that. I mean, this is not that long, but definitely one of the longer ones that we've had recently. Take a look real quick at the velocities one last time, and yeah, it doesn't seem like much. It's pretty broad right now. Again, we might get a new tornado warning maybe down the road with this, but it seems pretty low at this point as of right now. All right, we're gonna end the stream there. I do appreciate everybody tuning in as always. Again, make sure to join our Discord server. That link is in the chat. Again, if you're just tuning in for the first time, hit the subscribe button down below. It's that red button. It's completely free to do. It shows your support for the page and really helps our page out a lot. We are only 25 subscribers from 15,900, so if you haven't already hit the subscribe button, make sure to share with your friends too. Obviously, that's something else you can do. Check out our TikTok, by the way. We have some pretty good TikTok video little shorts on there, a lot of damage and stuff like that. We kind of have little like reactions to that sort of stuff. That link is also in the chat. That you can check out. Again, click the Nightbot link if you want to go check out our TikTok. And we actually have some good footage up on there now, in comparison to what we had previously. Also, I do want to thank Jaws again for hitting 250 total gifted memberships. I think he gifted 75 tonight, so make sure to thank him again in the chat and give him some claps again one last time for him. Big support to our page, and really helps our page out a lot. Appreciate the super chats and any other memberships that were given tonight. I really do appreciate you guys a lot. Other than that, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Yeah, make sure to join our Discord server if you have not already. And that is going to wrap it up. Let me just check real quick if we have any other new updates here. Just take a look real quick. I don't think we have any new updates on the tornado warning cell. Again, that one up in North Dakota I do think is weakened. So, yeah, no new tornado warning on that one. It seems like that cell is completely fizzled out anyways, which is good news. But beyond that, so I appreciate everybody tuning in. Have a great rest of your night, guys. Stay safe, and we'll see you again soon. Might go live again, possibly on Wednesday. I don't think we will, but if we do, don't be surprised. Maybe tomorrow, but probably not. That's it. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll see you again real soon.